Where's Lamoureux?
Mid-north, northeast. Get some hawk on your four. That's good.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 1991 AFL season. And what a way to start. Under lights here at Football Park in South Australia for the clash between Hawthorn and the Adelaide Crows. Both sides acquitted themselves extremely well in the recent Foster's Cup, with the Crows making it through to the semi-finals. Hawthorn, of course, were victorious. The crowd, as you can see, quite incredible. They've been talking about it for days, saying it was a sellout. Well, there are more than 50,000 fans here to witness the opening game of the 91 season. Joining me is a 302-game veteran of the then VFL, a triple premiership player, and he had a short stint here in South Australia. I won't dwell on it. Don Scott, good evening.
Sandy, how are you? What a fantastic atmosphere.
Isn't it tremendous to be back here with more than 50,000 fans, and the South Australians really have taken to the AFL?
Well, they have, Sandy, and we quickly run through the team. There'll be some really interesting battles there. Lee in the back pocket is a former Hawthorn player. He'd like to do well. Dunstall and Warhorse, a really good battle. Maynard Brereton, that's been publicised over here. Can Smart hold Anderson? Anderson, a real runner. Marshall, the experienced player from Glenelg against the younger Pritchard. And look, the two Jarmans. Whether they line up like that, interesting. Smith against McGuinness. Smith may line up at centre half forward. Yes, could be. McGuinness. And I think they're going to have a problem here with Lindner. That's why I was hesitating. Smith could go there, or McIntyre, who was named in the back pocket. So it'll be interesting. The very versatile side, both. And Negri played a few games for Hawthorn against Lawrence. Condon, McGuinness, Hart and Platten. And on the interchange, we've got Bruce Lindsay, the veteran, Jamison, Robram and Kennedy.
Well, both sides are out on the ground. I'm also happy tonight to be able to say that another triple premiership player, Ian Robertson, former star with Carlton, is joining us in the commentary position, while on the boundary line will be Max Stevens. Graham Corns and Chris McDermott leading the Adelaide Crows in their inaugural year in the AFL. Alan Joyce back with Hawthorn. His acting captain is Gary Ayres. Michael Tuck still to make an appearance this season. Hawthorn has won the toss and are kicking to the left to find out all about the weather conditions now with his Mitsubishi Motors ground report. A warm welcome to Max Stevens.
Thanks very much, Sandy. Well, we had a glorious day in Adelaide, a top of 22 degrees, and great weather is going to continue throughout the night. Let's have a look at the current temperature, 15.6 degrees. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. Now the wind about 10 knots, blowing left of screen, favouring the left pocket, about a 2-goal advantage, I would suggest, at this point of time. The ground condition, well, excellent. A little rain overnight, but no worries tonight for the surface whatsoever. And the forecast, fine and mild.
Thank you, Max. We look forward to your comments throughout the night, as we do former Carlton champ Ian Robertson. Who do you like, Ian?
Oh, I think Hawthorn should win, Sandy. I hope it's a fantastic game. It's a great night for South Australian football, and certainly the crowd will carry the 20 players in the Crows jumpers as we watch the brothers Jarman in the picture there. And I think it will be a great game that we'll see tonight.
A credit to the public of South Australia. They've given the Crows full support. And here they go to open the season, to open their AFL career. And it's Negri who gets a mighty thump down towards the half-forward line. The Crows through Tregenza, the centre half-forward. The Hawthorn defence, Langford. Has Lawrence short, thinks about him, then goes even shorter to Ray Jenke. Will go over the top. Going to put pressure on Lawrence. Jenke butters up again for himself. The handball a little wide. Tregenza in again for the Crows. Centering to half forward. And again Langford. He's played on. Gives it away to Gary Ayres. Flicks it wide. Was looking for Platten. Intercepted by McGuinness. So Tony McGuinness to send the Crows up to the half forward line. Hart will wait down. He's got a chance now, Daryl Hart, if he can get clear. He can't. Jarman is in there looking for the free kick for the Hawks. Pushed out wide towards Filkey. Swings round with his left foot. Weight of numbers may beat the Crows on this occasion. Lidner was there. Collins doing the aggressive work. And he is a very, very good player. Andy Collins in the back pocket.
And that player penalised David Marshall for lying on the football. And that's the umpire's instruction. There's a great mark taken by Smith. Smith wide of centre half forward, kicks it towards full forward, out in front. Oh, nearly a mark there to the Crows. It's being paid. Looks like McIntyre. And umpire Cameron indicating there that Chris Langford infringing against the Crows player. And the shot will come from about 35 metres out on a slight angle.
Well, McIntyre from South Adelaide in front on that occasion, named in the back pocket. They did have a bit of a height problem with Lindner down there as it was named, and they made the obvious choice of putting McIntyre in front of the big sticks.
Now McIntyre really should kick a score here. Oh, he kicks into the man on the mark. Disgraceful stuff. And I'm sure Graham Corns would go absolutely crazy there, because that could have been a chance for the Crows to post the first score of the game. Some very nervous players, Don, by the look of it, down there at ground level.
Well, there's a lot of pressure there, but the Crows have held the ball up on that forward line as they're doing it once again, and it's a good start by the Crows.
Even Gary Ayres just a few minutes ago would normally have got his kick, and it was a shocker that finished with McGuinness. So I just detect all players very, very keyed up. The Hawks certainly trying to open their account in the first game for season 1991, and the Crows desperate in front of this big parochial crowd at Football Park.
Well, number 25 on screen with his back, Matthew Robram, will be eager to impress.
Crows have it in their forward pocket region. Jarman, a short kick. Langford, a chance to clear for the Hawks. Back towards the centre. Ben Allen has been wearing the number 37 Guernsey. Tonight he's in 15, looking for Morrissey. Well, the freak normally holds those with the one hand. Not to be, and again the Crows out of trouble. Tregenza sets it up for McDermott. He's got a chance for McGuinness to run. Two bounces round the flank. Can have another one if he wants it. Decides against it, looks for Smith. Almost finds him. Jarman, a snap. It's going to the left, and Hart sees it hit the behind post.
Really, that was a bad miss by Smith, because he was by himself, he had the sit, and he was in the best position. Should have held an easy mark.
Thrown in the left forward pocket. Ayres over the top, hammers it again defensively over the line.
Earlier that was Hocking and Jamison on the bench for the Crows, whereas Hudson and McGuinness are lining up on the bench for Hawthorn. Kennedy at half back for Hawthorn.
Still no score on the board. A tight, tense, somewhat nervous opening. Smith, kick smothered. Ayres working hard, so too Platten, ridden into the ground. Oh, and he's lost it.
Oh, Don, now, come on. That's exactly what happened last Saturday night to Johnny Platten. I don't know whether the umpires have got instructions to jump on top of him, but that's unbelievable.
Well, just watch this on replay. Here's Platten. Now he's going to ground with the ball, but they deemed that he did not make an attempt to get rid of it. I know it is a very contentious rule or interpretation.
Going for the first goal of the match. He snuck it in. The Crows are away.
Well, I don't agree with that rule at all, because it was Platten who was making the effort, and it really does reward the guy that runs second, and you can never replace a guy that goes in. There he is. In actual fact, he may have been ridden into the ground or pushed in the back. But it's one rule that I think has got to be looked at seriously as far as the interpretation by the umpires.
Back in the centre, Negri, good leap. But Lawrence taps it out towards half forward. Coming crashing through was Lee. And the short kick, has it been marked? Yes, according to the central umpire. And the mark has been taken back in the centre by Negri. He gets the hand pass off to Thompson. Thompson's down. After he kicks the ball, the free kick will go down the field. Oh, there's a bit of a dust-up between the boys at half-back. Now Hawthorn with a bit of steadiness in defence. Jenke goes to Kennedy. Kennedy's high kick. Player on his own wide as Anderson for Hawthorn. Crows players coming at him, but Anderson gets the kick away. Brereton dives, appeals for the mark in front of Warhurst, and he's paid. Brereton deep at half-forward, too far out to score. Dermott would be keyed up. The kick into the pocket. Dunstall and Smart. And Smart sees it over for a boundary throw in 50 metres from the Hawthorn goal. And there's McGuinness and Hudson. on the interchange bench for the Hawks.
So the right forward pocket for the Hawks. Paul Deere giving away centimetres to Negri. A chance for them to clear Lee across to McGuinness. Shepherding sees him clear back towards the half-back line, but only as far as Lawrence. Centres it. The Hawks trailing at the moment. Darren Pritchard to half forward. Poor kick, drops well short. Tregenza, who's been busy early, gets it away to Maynard. Thompson lends the assist. And there's a fine grab that's going to be paid. Lidner can be mercurial, is a big game player, but can also be a little erratic. Bruce Lidner going down towards Smith. Couldn't take the mark. Past Hart towards Platten. Back again. Another charge for the Crows. Maynard's kick smothered. Collins at the bottom. Across to Morrissey. The Hawks are under real pressure at the moment. Ayres, body over the ball. Comes off the boot, bounces and then dribbles over the line.
Well, it's a question of whether the Crows can keep the pressure up on the Hawks. Now, this is what North Melbourne did to Hawthorn last week in the first quarter. Made them look very ordinary, but they just couldn't maintain the pressure north. Now, the Crows have got to do it if they want to stay in this game with the Hawks or beat them.
Robert and Smith to ground after that throw-in. And there'll be another one. Hayden Kennedy and Peter Cameron are the two men in white in charge on this history-making night in front of a full house. Robert gets front spot. Tries to get it away towards Jarman. McDermott at the bottom. Robrin again. Quickly boot to ball. Back towards the centre. A chance for Filkey. Away from Whitman. Pulls it round his body. No mark taken. McIntyre couldn't take it. Filkey brings it back in towards Negri. The big man does well. Back to Filkey. The Crows are running to half forward, but over the head of Hart. Out comes Lidner. Wants to give it away, thought about it, then went onto the left foot. It's a difficult one. And a good mark taken by Robert.
And he really went for the hero kick there, Bruce Linder.
Yep.
He probably could have had a bit more of a look. Hawthorn's defence settling down slowly but surely. Jenky's neat little kick finds Morrissey. Morrissey goes over the top and finds Condon. Condon, accomplished on the left side, kicks it in short. The half volley a little hard for Brereton with strength and skill. He gets it around Warhurst. Kick off the ground, gathers about 35 metres. Lee is well tackled by Allen. And the ball deliberately out of bounds, according to umpire Cameron. And I was waiting for that because Lee did not make much of an effort. The kick goes towards Dunstall. Now Morrissey held. Tries to get the handball away. Punched clear. Paul Deere close to the boundary line. Just slips out of his reach. And it's out of bounds. About 35 metres around from the Hawthorn goal in their left forward pocket. Gary Ayres, who won the toss, elected to kick to this left-hand end, so it'll be interesting to see if it's has any wind advantage. Tregenza's had about 5 kicks in the early minutes. Smith, Marshall, Crows on fire early. Marshall goes towards centre-half forward. Gets a mark, McIntyre. The crowd very excited, capacity crowd at Football Park. McIntyre from just inside 50, kicks from right on the line to the goal line. It could be another goal to the Crows. It is. McIntyre kicks his first goal. McGuinness has kicked the other one. And the Crows lead 2 goals to nothing.
That's a good kick from McIntyre from the 50-metre mark. Now, look, is Lindner infringed upon by Kennedy as he shepherds that through? I think he may have been given the kick had it have not gone through. Lindner.
The Adelaide Crows lead by 12 points. And they could not have asked for a better start. Negri, another big run at the ball. McDermott tries to get it to Jarman. Under pressure, but he does get it away. Straight to Ayres, tries to crash his way through. McDermott does it beautifully to Marshall. He sets sail to the forward line once again. Linder in front. It's going to be paid.
Well, it's good positioning by McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Don, there was a great tackle back at centre-half forward by Tregenza on Gary Ayres.
Well, Ayres tried to pit himself as he went through and the ball spilled out, but I was impressed the way this fellow got in front there. He's a big fellow. You can see there the holding. A lot of fullbacks are holding in football these days, and it was picked up by the umpire, and McIntyre has the chance for his second.
25 metres out. He's made no mistake. The Crows are flying high. 3 straight. Hawthorn are yet to score.
Well, Hawthorn have got the job really in front of them now. Not only the pressure that's being applied in a football sense, but these players, you see their airs crashing through Tregenza. But the crowd are very parochial and really rewarding these players vocally when they do something well.
I think it's pretty obvious too that if you're prepared to keep the pressure on, you can bring Hawthorn down.
Just under 16 minutes remaining. Can they keep the pressure on? Negri to Jarman. Kick partly smothered by Robin. Back to Jarman again. He's being dangerous. Filkey into the half-forward line once more. A push.
Shifting behind play on that occasion.
Chris Langford to take it at half-back. Wants to get round McIntyre. Gets his kick to centre wing. Negri at the back. Goes to ground. A chance for Platten. Close to the boundary line. He pulls it back. Has he pulled it back far enough? No, it's taken over the line by Lee.
One fellow really giving the Crows a lift is the big fellow Negri from originally from North Hobart. A couple of games in '85 with Hawthorn in the reserves, but showing a lot of athleticism tonight.
And pretty keen too. He's pumped up, that big guy. Right from the first bounce, he jumped straight into the opposition. Lindsay gets the hand pass from Negri. The kick towards half-back taken by Smart. They're running all over Hawthorn early. Tregenza, who loves running down the ground. Long drop punt into the pocket. Punched away by Langford. Now the race is on. Langford and McIntyre. McIntyre gathers it. Oh, he really should have had a go at it himself. He's put McGuinness under pressure. But Tony McGuinness, experienced. The kick to half-forward. Chipping in to take the mark is Allen for Hawthorn. And he will get the Hawks out of trouble. A long kick towards the centre wing. Oh, Anderson should have taken that. Jarman, quick, lovely little perception. Picks out McDermott at centre half forward. Chris McDermott, recently appointed captain for 1991 for the Adelaide Crows. High towards full forward. Punched away, another goal coming up. Through.
Well, this game very, very reminiscent as Klug went in for his first of the game against Geelong. Everybody expecting Geelong to do well that night, but the Crows blitzed them from the start, and the Crows are blitzing the Hawks. Here's the high ball. There, that was Hart once again. Out he goes to Klug, and Klug by himself, his first.
If you've just joined us, the scoreboard is quite correct. The Crows are giving the Hawks a bath. They lead by 24 points. Pushed wide to the wing. Marshall has been in everything. Gets another kick. Maybe one down the ground. Everything running with the Crows at the moment.
Well, they're prepared to back themselves, Sandy. They're getting in first to the ball, and when they're not being first, they're really harassing Hawthorn.
Darren Smith, just forward of centre wing. Kicking to half forward. Standing his ground as Jarman. He gets the rounds of the kitchen from the South Australian crowd. Whitman's kick towards Platten. Couldn't complete the mark. Jarman. McGuinness. Skill. Great stuff by those two very skillful players. Jenky and McDermott. Now Pritchard on his hammer, but he gets his kick down towards the pocket. Collins gets a hand to it, and with Klug, it's taken over the line.
Just great stuff by McDermott. He was going to be beaten by Jenky, but the determination was all over him there, and he really was wanting to get that football more so than Jenky.
So the Crows again have it inside 50. Klug tried to steal it out the back door, couldn't do so. Whitman's with him.
That's interesting. I think Whitman could have made a better effort on that occasion to get the ball on. Lucky not to be penalised.
Robin, delicate tap down. Allen, a hurried kick. Back towards the half-back line. Did Jarman steal it?
I'll tell you what, the Andrew Jarman is beating the Darren Jarman.
Should have punched it away, the younger brother.
There's his kick down towards the pocket. McIntyre the target. Fisted away again by Langford. And a throw in the left forward pocket. Well, this big crowd at the moment loving every minute of this match as the Hawk interchange boys go for a run.
Robran behind, Klug. Whitman tries to get through. Robran, good hand pass. Jenke, they're sharing it around now. Allen, short pass is good. Morrissey marks half back. Playing on the wing against Tregenza. Tregenza's had the better of him so far. The kick is short. Oh, good play. Desperate stuff by Maynard. Short kick, effective. Smith marks in front of Collins. Sweeping hand pass, Maynard. Short pass into the pocket. And Hart takes the mark. And the Adelaide Crows are playing brilliant football in the early part of this pipe opener to the AFL 1991 season. Daryl Hart, right forward pocket, angle difficult. Shot to the front of the goals. No mark taken. At the back, McIntyre. Chance for his third. Handball back into the square. Klug, left foot is another goal. Klug gets his second. McIntyre's kicked two. McGuinness has kicked one. And it's all Adelaide.
Well, good football. If you can kick straight, and the Crows are certainly doing it at the moment as Hawthorn are making a change. Hudson is coming on. Morrissey off. And watch this, the ball in dispute. McIntyre fumbles. Handball to the centre of the square. And Klug unattended, his second.
Adelaide leads by 5 straight goals. It's been an avalanche in this opening quarter. And what a way to start their AFL career. From the centre, McDermott, always busy underneath it. Getting support from Thompson. Kicks it high towards Hart down at the forward line. Ayres under pressure. Gets a hurried left foot kick back towards the middle. Negri couldn't take it. Jarman tried to get it on towards Allen. And eventually Peter Cameron comes in and decides upon a bounce.
This football is exactly the same as the way they played against Geelong in their first appearance in the Foster's Cup.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Hawthorn can, if they can, come back. 5 goals down at the moment.
Oh.
Unable to take it was Condon. That's been the story of the first quarter. McGuinness down to the right half-forward flank. And Robin sees it over the line with John Klug.
Well, it's a 2-on-1 situation. Burton doing the shepherding. Condon should have picked that up instead of going over the top of it.
And Morrissey now on the interchange bench for Hawthorn. So Alan Joyce not too happy with maybe the discipline. Smith, who's doing well for the Crows at centre half forward. Hart tries to tap it across the front of the goals. Ayres goes back and sees it through for a rush behind. And the fans here not too happy. 9.5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Chris Langford to kick the ball back into play for the Hawks. Crows up until that stage had kicked 5 straight. Magnificent start. Graham Corns, would he be happy with that? The kick in. Smith can't mark it. Kennedy can't get through. Ayres, a quick kick, slews off the side of his boot. Jenke underneath it, takes the mark. Looks to play on. The short pass up along the wing. Hudson, handball, and then Shepherd. Condon keeps the ball in play. Now Hawthorn up towards half forward. Brereton can't mark. He doesn't look fit. Anderson, a kick across to the face of the goals. Dunstall, great stuff. Dunstall marks 13 metres out directly in front.
Well, it's a typical Dunstall mark. Strength pushing his opponent. Watch it on replay. Brereton, Anderson running onto it. A quick kick, good centering kick. Dunstall just used his hands to nudge his opponent out.
Dunstall directly in front, makes no mistake. Hawthorn's first goal.
Well, an understatement to say a badly needed goal. It's probably the first time they've made a decent sortie into their forward line, Hawthorn. And there, the kick, Brereton, Anderson running onto it. Dunstall using his hands there, pushing the opponent out, goes up, takes the mark.
Alan Joyce and the Hawthorn hierarchy see his team get on the board with Jason Dunstall booting his first. Under 8.5 minutes remaining. 31 plays 6, favouring the Crows. Robran off the ground. Whitman. Chris Whitman forward of centre. The Hawks are a mean fighting machine. They'll come back. The high kick by Paul Deere going into the pocket. Brereton gets there.
Well, there wouldn't be any doubt if it was a South Australian with the football now, Sandy, would there? The Czech side would
come into
be
play.
appropriate.
This is where it originated.
Well, let's see if Dermy can put it to good use.
He's looking for options. He's not too confident from where he's kicking. Brereton play
To
on.
play on. And that's not really a Czech side. Negri got a hand to it. And again, it's Adelaide through Thompson. Down towards McDermott and Marshall. The latter takes it. Flicks it round his body. Towards Jarman territory. Skillfully done, beautifully done to McDermott, his skipper, on towards his vice-captain McGuinness. Couldn't take it cleanly, but under pressure, and so too was Jarman, and he sees it over the line for the Hawks.
Just reflecting back to that kick by Brereton, there was really a nothing kick, not decisive. He really should have gone back and had a shot for goal.
How about the Jarman, Andrew Jarman hand, Sandy?
Sensational.
Magnificent.
Yeah, that was just marvellous to watch. Lawrence got the right hand to it. Jarman a tap towards the boundary line. Filkey and Platten are both there. Now, McDermott in very strongly. And the question I'm sure would have been asked, but Peter Cameron says, I'll have it. But McDermott really did throw himself in on that occasion. And I think they have been warned.
I think you've picked that very well there, Sandy.
So, the ball up on the outer side again. Smith doing the ruck work. Oh, Jarman almost sat over it once more for the Hawks. Platten under pressure, but gets his kick back towards centre wing. Only as far as Lee.
Lee kicks it in towards centre half forward. Hawthorn getting back quickly. It's Paul Hudson. Good mark. Handball over the top and gives his teammate the chance to run towards the football. Paul Deere up towards full forward. Pulled off the ball was Dunstall. Backing up well is Brereton. Round onto the right foot. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. There's no one home for Hawthorn. Smart gets back. Very well done. Handball to Hart. Hart's kick. High, but Marshall's able to mark. He's a little slow. The kick, push in the back. So the kick may go up the field. No, it won't. It'll go back to Marshall, just forward of centre wing. And Darren Jarman not happy there. Perhaps the player infringing.
Again, Brereton indecisive as to what he's doing with the ball.
Marshall, high drop punt kick to the 50-metre line. No mark taken. Hawthorn under pressure. Good handball, Klug. Hart sidesteps beautifully. Puts McGuinness under pressure. He spins away from Collins. Kick towards full forward. No mark taken. Close to the boundary line.
And over.
And it has gone over according to the boundary umpire. So we'll have a throw in the left forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows with 5.5 minutes left. Look at that crowd. They've been still coming in even in this first quarter. The latter part of the first quarter, the crowd still streaming into Football Park. Deep in the pocket. On the bottom of the pack. He's been penalised there. McDermott. And I guess the umpire has told him all about that. The free kick will go to Gary Ayres. No, it won't. It'll go back to Anthony Condon. And he'll take it in the back pocket for Hawthorn.
And then go to Ayres. Still virtually in the back pocket. This time he gets onto a good-looking kick down towards centre wing. Lawrence took the mark, but then played on. Loses it to Lindsay, who intercepted well. Bruce Lindsay's high kick going back towards half forward. No one at home, and the mark taken by Kennedy. Off to Ayres again. Negri backing into the pack, and there's a fine mark.
Fine effort by Negri also.
So the Hawks go through Paul Deere towards Dunstall. Out the back it comes. Is there a chance now? Pressure on the Crows' defence. Socket towards the goal, and now going across the face of goal towards Filkey. He does well. And again, they'll get out of trouble. Warhurst gets his kick to Marshall on the half-back flank. Marshall plays on to Tregenza. Down the ground. What do you think?
Kennedy.
I think the umpires are falling into the parochial crowd.
Maynard's kick to half forward. Klug a hand to it, but that was all. Kennedy scouting across to Pritchard. Hawthorn steady. Allen the flyer. Couldn't take the mark. No one going past for the Hawks. Lindsay at the bottom of the pack. Jarman with strength gets out. Anderson tumbles one in towards goal. This might bounce through. Was it touched? I think it might be there for the Hawks. It is.
Well, it's about all you could do in that situation. This is pressure football. Hawthorn are trying, and namely Brereton, trying to deliver the ball on a plate to your forwards. When you're in a pressure situation, as Hawthorn are in right now in this game, very pressurised. You can only do what Anderson do, make the forwards work. Here's Jarman getting it out. You can only do what that is. Send it down towards goal, hope that the forwards are in front, and then you start and reap the benefit. It's good effort by Anderson.
So with just under 4 minutes left, Hawthorn clawing their way back. The Adelaide Crows kicked the first 5. Hawthorn have kicked the last 2. Pritchard trying to get it out. Now Condon, a kick towards half forward. The ball bounces in a neutral zone. Brereton, tap on, brilliant, but standing in his way was Lee. Oh, Dunstall's caught by Thompson. Maynard gets there to help out his teammate. Handball is good to Filkey. Filkey goes to McGuinness. He will be caught, but he gets the hand pass away. Great play by Darren Pritchard. He can't get the handball to any of his teammates, and now it's forced over for a boundary throw-in, but it certainly was good play by Pritchard because the Crows were nearly away from half-back. Tony McGuinness in the picture. Ruck contest. Negri. Thompson dives on the football. It comes out to Pritchard. In the back against McDermott, not paid. Jarman, that's Andrew. Now, a little bit of struggling football by all players, and surely the umpire will have to come in and bounce as Andrew Jarman and Johnny Platten have a bit of a dust-up with each other, and now the umpire will have to have a few words, and a free kick is going to Jay Platten. So I thought he was hardly done by with a few umpiring decisions earlier on, but now he gets a dicey one forward of centre wing on that outer side. Johnny Platten. Champion little rover for Hawthorn. Kick into the pocket. And it should be a free kick if it's not a mark to Lee in that back pocket for the Adelaide Crows.
Scott Lee. Short to Lindsay. Still deep in defence. He goes long, though, towards centre wing. Smith's at the back. Couldn't take the mark, but Marshall coming through strongly. Set sail towards Klug at half forward. Over the top he goes. McIntyre. This looks like another one. He shoots. He goes. 3 goals for McIntyre. And the Crows steady.
Well, it was a good mark there by Klug, running with the flight of the ball, but what I was impressed, the quick handball, and actually Klug now coming off the ground and Hocking coming on. There's Klug getting away from Robram. And Klug off and Eddie Hocking on.
So the Crows steady. 6-1 to 2 straight goals. Coming down towards the last minute. Eddie Hocking's just come onto the ground. Over the top he goes. Marshall and Jenke. Overrun. Whitman wide. Pritchard gets the hand pass away to Langford. Chris Langford's kick goes back towards centre wing, but only as far as Negri.
Negri gets the handball further back. Thompson, a long kick towards half forward. Nearly a Hawthorn mark back there to Jenke. It's been paid. The advantage will be paid. No, it won't, because Darren Pritchard looked as though he may have been caught by McDermott. Jenke, short kick close to the boundary line. Darren Jarman takes the mark. A long drop punt kick. Paul Deere gets back. Nearly took a freakish mark. Goes after it again.
Well done,
but Lee, he stood his ground there, Lee, and he taps the ball over for a boundary throw-in. There's John Klug, who's kicked 2 goals, and McIntyre, well, a bit of a surprise, in my opinion, up there at full forward. He's kicked 3, but the Crows have done it excellently in this first quarter. Lee, but Andrew Jarman was the instigator. Thompson, left foot kick towards centre wing. It comes out the back. Darren Jarman can't get the ball clear. Smith, McDermott, off to Marshall. Good play. Always outnumbering. The kick towards half forward. McIntyre, can he get back? Lindner, the mercurial Bruce Lindner. Round onto the right foot goes Lindner. He bangs away, but he misses to the left. And it's through for their second behind.
Well, they all peeled away from Lindner on that occasion. They were all running over towards the action. Then they peeled away when he got the ball. And he had an unpressurised kick for, well, it wasn't a pressure kick for goal. A very easy kick. He should have made more of it.
Critical seconds now for Hawthorn. Langford back into play towards Robran. Waiting down in front was Whitman. Couldn't take it cleanly. Marshall a chance to backpedal. McGuinness pulls it round his body. Langford in front. Seconds ticking down for Hawthorn. It's been a great quarter by the Crows, and what a start to their AFL career. They'll get a standing ovation. They are getting a standing ovation at quarter time. Adelaide 6-2, 38, lead Hawthorn, 2 straight goals.
Alan Joyce is furious. He says his players aren't running enough, they're not first to the ball, and there's no way they're going to win here at Football Park if they carry on that way. Now, Graham Corns, well, as one would expect, he's pretty delighted. He summed it up by saying to his boys, you're kicking with the wind now, let's see what you can do.
Thank you, Max. Max Stevens on the boundary line, and we are just about set for a start. Quick look at the stats, Don.
Yes, and as you can expect, Adelaide dominating possessions. You can see there they outnumber Hawthorn about 100 to 72. Centre breaks again, Adelaide. Isn't that interesting? And that's all through the work of Negri getting his hand on the ball first. And 15 hit outs to 4. Again, Negri in control. Interesting marks down, 18 to 25 in favour of Hawthorn.
So Peter Cameron about to set the wheels in motion for this second quarter.
It's good to see Peter Cameron back after injury last year.
Yep. 26 points the margin, and it's the Adelaide Crows who lead. The Crows this time going to the left. Negri to Jarman. Klug was trying to get it out, unsuccessful however. Fielke picks up the whistle. Had sounded. It'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of Paul Deere.
No, 50 metres. 50 metres.
Well, that's going to bring him down well inside the 50-metre zone. Well inside. In fact, it'll bring him to just 25 or 30 metres out, directly in front.
Well, it's against Maynard. You really have got to concentrate, especially when you give a free kick away on the forward line, because very dangerous, as the Crows can testify, as Deere lines up.
The drop punt from directly in front. He's pulled it away to the right, I fear. And the ironical cheers go up from this parochial crowd. Well, they love it, the fans here tonight.
You never hear as many cheers and claps and smiles as when someone does something wrong if they're an opposition team here. Unbelievable.
Bruce Lindsay to bring the ball back into play. One of the game's veterans in South Australia, and a beautiful kick by Lindsay straight down the middle. Deere was the flyer, couldn't take it. Negri in front. Pritchard tried to get it out towards Hudson, did well. On to Anderson, he's got Platten wider, ignores him. Goes for goal himself. Good looking kick, but again off to the right.
Deere should have gone for the punch on that occasion when the ball was kicked out from Lindsay. Negri in front, and Deere came over the back and tried to mark.
Well, Hawthorn, importantly, have had the forward moves in the early part of this second term. I just wonder, looking at the flags around the ground, whether there is any goal advantage either end here. Hawthorn certainly holding it in so far. Whitman tries to get the handball out to Anderson. Anderson under pressure from Tregenza. Now he gets the handball back. It goes towards Darren Jarman. Darren Jarman's kick is a mark, and it certainly was going to be a free kick because the whistle went early, but Brereton has the football right on the 50-metre line.
Well, Dunstall not leading on that occasion. Brereton was looking for a lead. It wasn't forthcoming from Dunstall. Now he's got the fullback and the big ruckman on him.
Brereton's kick, he goes for goal. The ball holds up in front of the square. Dunstall tries to get his hands to it. Andrew Jarman, who has been disciplined, getting back into the space where Dunstall would lead, sees the ball over that boundary line in the left forward pocket for the Hawks. Paul Deere, Negri. Now it goes out the back. Whitman gathers it, but McGuinness is there to challenge. Anderson, snapshot by Anderson, is close to the line, and it's out of bounds on the full, so the free kick will go to the Crows, and it'll be taken back there by Lee.
Hawthorn have just got to persist now. They seem to be getting their act together just a little better. The pressure's still there, as you can see that kick from Anderson, but they're just starting to come back into it.
Lawrence, the flyer, couldn't take the mark. Maynard on to McDermott. Pushed wide. Thompson overruns it. Anderson keeps it in play to Pritchard, and he promptly puts it out of bounds, but I think it may have been touched. So not on the full, much to the disappointment of this big crowd.
And Chris McDermott appealing for the free kick.
So a throw in. Just in the Hawthorn attacking zone here at Football Park. Neither ruckman getting a touch. Jarman smothered, comes back to him, he gets another shot, but loses it this time to McDermott. Klug tried to tap on, and that whole...
He's injured too, Sandy. Darren Jarman. Looks like he might have done an ankle.
Well, that's bad news for Hawthorn. Negri with the left arm, taps down to Andrew Jarman. Goes towards half forward. Kennedy chances his arm, comes out strong. This is coming back towards Jarman. Still in the hands of the trainers. He limps away as Maynard takes it across half back. Put Lindsay under the hammer. Inspirational play by Brereton. Down to Dunstall. Gets the handball across to Anderson. Dean Anderson can go again if he wants. He gives it to Deere. He centres it, looking for Allen. Bounces away from him. Lee is there. Overruns it, but he's got support. It was Warhurst. Back to Lee. Now Tregenza. And he's got pace. Look at him go on the outer side. 3 bounces. 4. Now kicks long up towards the forward line. Smith at the back. And Hawthorn again will get out of trouble, but what an inspirational run that was for the Crows. McDermott on the end of this one. Pulls it back again. It's a high kick going into the forward zone once more. Lidner waits at the back. A short kick. Hart can't get there in time. Bruce Lidner.
But the pressure, Sandy, indication the Deere kick down there. How often do you find Deere centering a ball like that and not finding a mark? It was supposed to be to Allen. When Collins broke and Pritchard, they handballed it to McIntyre, and then a kick by Lindner. Should have been a goal, but it's the pressure. There's a lot of pressure out there at the moment.
Langford into the outer side there. Long drop punt kick. Uncontested mark. Poor play there by Robran, because Smith for the Crows has marked about 60 metres from goal. Looking to move it on quickly. Andrew Jarman in the background there, giving Darren Smith some instructions. Now he's going in short into the pocket. It's a Crows mark taken by Klug. Now the angle has become even more difficult, but certainly he's within scoring distance. He's kicked 2. McIntyre has kicked 3, and McGuinness has kicked 1. Dunstall and Anderson have kicked 1 each for Hawthorn. Now John Klug, who's been a bit of a surprise packet for the Crows. Kick looks pretty good. No, it goes across the face, and it's through for a behind. So John Klug, he's kicked a couple of behinds as well as 2 goals. And the Crows supporters looking pretty satisfied with themselves as Gary Ayres prepares to kick the ball back into play.
They've obviously done their homework too, just looking at the Crow hierarchy. The way they're circling Hawthorn when Hawthorn are making the huddle at centre-half back.
Ayres kick back into play. McDermott again at the bottom. Did he throw it out to Lindsay? Yes, he did.
Victim of circumstances there. Not much else he could do. If he didn't try and move it on, he was going to be penalised anyway.
Yep, Kennedy. Well, they're forced to come wide, Hawthorn, and do it the hard way. Pritchard traps it nicely. Now here's a chance. Hudson across half forward. Can go over the top to Johnny Platten from 50 metres. Jarman comes towards him. He gets his kick, but that's the pressure put on him. He's forced to pull it to Negri. He gives it to Lee. Tregenza will have another run. 1 bounce. 2. Only 2 this time. To half forward. Marshall the flyer, but a little too early. Jenke. Going short, pulls it back, and the mark taken by Lawrence.
And Darren Jarman has recovered from that leg injury, and he's moving quite nicely. Chased Tregenza just a few seconds ago.
There was no movement on that Hawthorn forward line as Platten went in there. He was looking for an option, but all the forwards were stationary. Consequently, Negri could chip in.
Lawrence's kick. High to the wing, and a good mark taken by Paul Deere. Playing without his brother, he gives it to Andy Collins.
Free kick.
Yes, Andrew.
Too predictable, that handball by Paul Deere to Collins.
Hart. To half forward again. Or Lawrence again too early. Kennedy at the back. And it's his ball. So the Hawks under real pressure. Robran short to Anderson. Thought about giving it to Hudson going past, but now goes back. Is looking for some movement across half forward. Brereton comes out from that position. Warhurst is with him. Filkey at the back.
Oh, Dermott frustrated. He let one go and then pulled Warhurst down.
The advantage paid. Tregenza on, and Klug takes the mark inside 50. They've got all the answers at the moment, Don. Klug's kick. This looks pretty good. Oh, what a goal! What a goal!
Well, Matthew Robran has really got to tighten up. He has really got to tighten up on this fellow here. That was a relayed free kick against Brereton. And look, you can't afford to give these guys any latitude. And that's a good kick from Klug. Just one step, 55 metres out.
Just under 18 minutes left, and Adelaide lead by 32 points. Andrew Jarman gets the ball out of the centre for the Crows. Wide to left half forward. Leading in the race is Lindner. He gets the handball back. Klug back to Lindner. Great gather by Lindner. Oh, superb football. Smith kicks it across his body in towards centre half forward. Andrew Jarman nearly. Back goes Chris McDermott. A tap out by Hart. McDermott, Marshall, Pratt the tackler. And now the advantage is paid to Hawthorn. The free kick was going to the Hawks. Now the ball finishes with Filkey. Forward of centre wing, maybe up towards half forward as McGuinness prepares to come onto the ground for the Hawks. Filkey, long kick to full forward. Nearly a mark to the Crows. Platten, a quick kick. That's where the pressure's being applied. Hawthorn just can't cohesively get it out of their defence line. Pritchard, handball over the top. Waiting for it is Ayres. Great smother by Lindsay, and the crowd applaud Bruce Lindsay. They just are doing every small thing possible, the Crows, and a disciplined effort is showing on the scoreboard. Smith in front of Lawrence. Lawrence gets the tap out. Pritchard smothered. Filkey leaves it behind. Andrew Jarman goes after it with desperation, and a free kick will go to the Adelaide Crows to be taken down here by McDermott. No, it's not. It's going to Platten, as Don said. Umpire indicating that it was going one way and then correcting himself. Platten takes the free kick, and a big punch coming from Maynard, was it there? And we'll have a boundary throw in.
And Rotherham off and McGuinness on, and McGuinness going and picking up Klug. We see Hocking coming on and Smith off for the Crows.
Jarman gets a hurried kick for Hawthorn down towards the right half forward flank. Lee is there and over the line. So a throw in, right half forward flank.
As well as two Jarmans, we've now got two McGuinnesses on the ground.
Correct. Negri from behind, Paul Deere. Pushed wide past Scott Lee. Brereton comes to meet him. Brereton does very well. Here's a chance for the Hawks. Whitman pulls it round his body, and a wonderful kick has resulted in a great goal.
Now that's about all you can do in a pressured game. What Brereton did on that occasion, you've got to meet the ball hard. He did it, got it on quickly, and make the forwards work. Here's Brereton taking up the challenge, then bang along the ground, just move it towards goal, and that is a great kick for goal by Whitman.
Tell you what, it was terrific stuff by Brereton. Very composed against the boundary line, and the hand pass was very good to Whitman.
Still 26 points the margin. That was the margin at quarter time as Negri charges at the ball to try and get the Crows away again. McGuinness has just come onto the ground for the Hawks. Gets a hurried left foot kick down towards the left half forward flank. First to it could be Thompson. Platten there with him.
What Lawrence has got to do in the centre is start. He's trying to jump into Negri. He's making no effort whatsoever. He's really got to take the bit between his teeth and jump early and jump hard into Negri and try and nullify him.
Smith we saw having a spell on the bench. Allen gets a short, sharp kick up towards the half forward line, but only as far as Lee. Quickly off to Lindsay. Bruce Lindsay to centre wing. McGuinness is late on the scene. Hudson looking for the mark. It's not paid. Play on the call. Allen waits down. So too Hart. Tries to soccer off the ground. Marshall gets clear. Up towards half forward. Filkey's there. Could have been interfered with.
No, it was a kick to Kennedy who's pushed. It was a good effort by John Kennedy. A great effort.
So John Kennedy to take it back pocket. Going in towards the middle once again. Filkey applies the tackle on Pritchard. Marshall, can he control it? He was tackled too high. And will be free kick.
I think Darren Pritchard's becoming quite frustrated too with David Marshall, who's playing well. 50.
Well, he's not lonesome, I don't think, Darren Pritchard. He's got a few teammates who are in the same position.
Now, was that 50-metre penalty for disputing the umpire's decision, do you think? didn't look as though he'd done anything else except argue.
That's right.
So Hayden Kennedy now is still saying words to him. I mean, the decision's not going to be reversed.
So it brings Marshall to within 45 metres of goal. This for his first for the night. David Marshall's drop punt straight through the middle. Another one of the Crows.
I'm impressed with Marshall on the wing, the Glenelg veteran, the oldest man in this side. And Brereton going off. Morrissey on. As you can hear there, the ironical cheers. And Morrissey going to centre half forward.
Dermot Brereton being taken off the ground with 13.5 minutes left in this second quarter. McDermott, who is inspired. Beautiful kick across his body. Gee, that gathers some distance.
Push out.
Lindner took the mark, but there was a push out.
Good
Gary
position.
Ayres takes the free kick at half-back. Ayres, a long kick towards centre wing. Oh, there's another push out. Umpire hasn't seen it this time. Crows supporters mad with the umpire.
No, the umpire was right. The umpire was right. Play on. Watch this.
Darren Jarman.
He had his eyes on the ball and Filkey slipped.
Boundary throw in centre wing. Hawks a chance. Anderson. Kick across his body. Goes 35 metres. Morrissey interfering there with Maynard. Advantage rule not paid. It'll come back to Maynard at half-back. Hawks looking a little rattled now with Brereton on the bench. Up towards centre wing. Allen. Kick back towards half-forward. Negri. A good play. Whitman. He's in after it again. Chris Whitman tries to kick it off the ground. Or Condon.
Fumble.
Conspicuous by his absence. Andrew Jarman. Wide handball. Thompson. Left foot kick. A beauty. Torpedo punt in the finish. Ayres. Strength. Back there is Collins. Kick across his body and the mark will be taken by Jenky. Did he play on? Yes. Play on again. McDermott's got the football. Now it's hurried over for a boundary throw in. Good umpiring, Peter Cameron.
The umpires are doing particularly well. Particularly well.
Throw in again. Almost bounce off the head, taken by Jarman. Gets a hurry kick down towards Lindner. Playing in front, tried to get the handball away to Hart, who ducked his head, gives it to Filkey. This could be another one. Oh, he's missed. Running into an open goal, Grantley Filkey posts the Crows 5th behind, 8-5. To the Hawks, 3-2.
Had a long time since Hawthorn have only kicked 3 goals this close to half-time in an AFL game.
Just thinking that, yes. Langford, another beautiful kick back into play. No mark taken, ball held at the bottom, and it is held. There will be a bounce. Andrew Jarman. Jarman boys have their mother Evelyn here watching tonight. She's proud as punch. She wanted a draw. I don't think she'll get that. McGuinness sending the Crows in towards full forward once again. Ayres couldn't quite take the mark. Lindner under pressure, gets claimed but gets it away. Back it comes to David Marshall, a standing start. A good looking kick. Well, they can do no wrong.
Well, his second goal, but a mistake by Ayres. He dropped that mark. Would have been better there. Lindner onto it quickly. Collins trying hard. McIntyre and Marshall well down from his wing. It's Pritchard's man. His second goal.
Adelaide, 39 points in front. Lawrence gets the tap out. Pritchard, gee, was tackled, but he got the kick away. Great play, McDermott. They're irrepressible. The Adelaide Crows, Andrew Jarman, up towards half-forward. Ayres can't mark it. McIntyre shares it with Filkey. Filkey's kicked to the front of the square. Collins goes back. The bouncing ball, Hart, not quite quick enough. Collins, left foot kick, wide towards the wing. Hudson flies high. What a great mark by Paul Hudson over Tregenza. He plays on quickly. Right foot kick by Hudson towards the centre. Condon, who just can't get into the game. Pritchard pulled when he didn't have the football by Warhurst. Allen, but Warhurst does it brilliantly. McGuinness gets the handball from Warhurst, kicks it wide. Look at Filkey on his own. He can even afford to drop the ball. He gets around easily, Whitman, and then kicks it in towards centre-half forward. High flyer Marshall, can't mark it. Hart shares it with Marshall. Across to Klug, the laconic John Klug. A screw punt kick. He screws it too much. And it goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Hawthorn.
Check side, but he's a Tasmanian and really hasn't come to grips with it.
Kennedy brings it back into play. See, the Crows are throwing absolutely everything at Hawthorn, who are rattled at the moment. It's going to need a mighty effort in the second half if they're to come back. That's the sort of courage we're seeing from the Crows. Tom Warhurst.
He's a good player, this fellow. I was impressed with him when he played at Norwood.
Comes from a great sporting family. They go deep into attack again through Lee to the half-forward line. Ayres under pressure, kicks wide and blindly, but he's got plenty of support out there. Darren Pritchard can bounce his way down the wing. Ball to ground only once, then kicks over the top to Jarman. He's been a little quiet early in this half. Dunstall tried to tap it wide. Lindsay is there, however. Back to Jarman. They're out of trouble again. Smart. The drop punt. Kennedy sets himself. He's got to stand and wait as Libner came over the top. Hammered towards the line. Pritchard is there. Gives it back to Chris Langford. And Langford's away on centre wing. To half forward. Good diving attempt by Paul Deere. Jarman. Now he sat over that ball. Paul Deere is going to get it away. Across to Morrissey. Back to Langford. Caught. Great tackle. McGuinness. Filkey was the tackler. McGuinness to McDermott. Got a hand to it. Pritchard on to Whitman. Lawrence does the shepherding. And Whitman spears one in towards Hudson, just forward of centre. Well, they're just rattled by the pressure. Marshall to Lee, and the Crows are out of trouble again, going over the centre.
That's a Hawthorn mark to McGuinness. Too tall. Elects to transfer play wide to the outer wing, Jenke. They're trying to get the numbers moving, Hawthorn. Anderson runs around his opponent to get it comfortably onto his preferred right foot. Long kick towards full forward. No mark taken. Here's an opportunity for Allen. This may bounce through. Ben Allen's kick for goal is a goal. Great kick. No. Well, I don't know what happened to that. It must have hit the post. It looked as though it was over the line.
Yeah, I think McGuinness, a great effort by McGuinness. We'll go down to Max Stevens. What's the report on Dermott?
Well, Sandy, Dermott Brereton, his right hip is causing him some worry. He's in the rooms and the club physiotherapist is having a look at it. He's working on it at the moment, but there doesn't appear to be too serious worry at this point of time.
Thank you, Max. Fine mark by Negri, and there's another one by his opposing number one, Ray Jenke. 9-5, plays 3-3. Ray Jenke towards Platten. Well, he hasn't got a lot, Johnny Platten, to kick to. He goes short. And Dean Anderson on that outer side in front of the big scoreboard here at Football Park. Still outside 50. Now they go deep in towards the square. Fisted clear towards Eddie Hocking. Coming back after injury. Puts Scott Lee under a little bit of pressure. But he's got McGuinness giving good support. Wide to Marshall.
He's playing some sort of a game, this guy.
Been sensational. 11th kick coming up for David Marshall. Veteran Glenelg champion. To half forward. Platten down in front, but he's beaten for it. And this boy's played a game and a half too. A chip in towards full forward. McIntyre. Play on. And taken over the line for one behind by Andy Collins.
This is the best home and away game I have seen
This
for
season?
years. Well, I'd say this season. I'd have to qualify that, but I'd say for years.
Chris Langford now looking for the torpedo punt. It's effective. 55 metres. Platten, beautiful tackle by McDermott. Whatever McDermott does, it's effective. Hudson, handball over the top. Pritchard, sweeping hand pass to Kennedy. Hawthorn need to mount something here. Close to half-time, they need a goal. Dunstall gets his opponent out of it, but Smart's very, very quick to recover. and gets the handball away to Thompson. Thompson the dasher. The kick towards centre wing.
Well
Nearly a mark there to Tregenza, but Platten got back beautifully. The hand pass comes to Pritchard. Jenke, who's run on beautifully. The short pass to centre half forward. The mark is taken by Anderson.
Gee, that was a good effort by Platten.
Anderson needs to move it quickly. A high drop punt to the goal front. Oh, great mark taken back there by Maynard. He plays on, no messing around, no nonsense football by the Crows. Handball finds McGuinness. McGuinness, who's had about 15 kicks wide. The mark is taken by Marshall, who will have his 12th.
He kicks to centre wing. Fisted away. Krug almost pulled off the ball. Whitman. A high kick. Back over the centre once again. Flying high was Anthony Condon. The Hawks a chance now. Towards Dunstall. Got a hand to it. Kick coming from Anderson. And eventually Lee sees it over the line.
Lawrence has gone off for Hawthorn and Robram's gone into the ruck coming off the bench.
Just under 4.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Paul Deere in front. Filkey at the side. Across to Lindsay. Spirals the Crows out of trouble, and Robram may keep it in play. In fact, he won't be first to it. He pulled Lindner off the ball. Had to stop him.
Inexperience showing there, Matthew Robram.
Yep.
So Bruce Lindner centering to half forward. That's a good kick.
See, they're giving him plenty of space to move Klug.
And he's enjoying it. Jarman stabs in towards the forward line. Smith's at the back, but the boundary line may be too close. Is it going to be kept in? No, there's no great attempt there. It's eventually thrown out the back towards Jarman. He gets past McIntyre and gains probably 15 metres before getting it to a teammate in Morrissey. Morrissey on towards Condon. And Condon has it on the half-back flank.
Hasn't had many touches.
No, he's not on his own. Negri couldn't take it, neither could Marshall. Socket clear. Collins. Ooh, that is tough stuff.
Kamikaze stopped by Lee.
Just ask Ben Allen about that. Lindsay to half forward, looking for Klug. Couldn't find him, but they've got the players at the drop of the ball. This is Maynard from 50. He's kicked another one. Oh, they're hot.
Well, Maynard drifting well out of the back line, playing at centre half back. What a terrific effort. Going with the flight of the ball, ran onto it beautifully. An awkward looking kick. There they are. Klug involved. There he is running. And goes onto the right foot. His first goal. Well done, Maynard, from the half back line.
Well, it's all Adelaide in this first half. They lead by 45 points, 66-21, with 2.5 minutes left in the term. John Kennedy, but it's smothered. Andrew Jarman kicks it towards half forward. Hawks under pressure again. Jenke with the pressure showing, fumbles. Now he flips it wide. McGuinness, but McDermott's there to put pressure on. McGuinness has got the foot. He may be penalised. No, he's not. It's against McDermott. Well, you're a bit stiff there, Chris McDermott, I think. And McGuinness, that's Scott McGuinness for Hawthorn, will take the free kick at half-back. Started on the interchange bench with Paul Hudson, but they're both on the ground at the moment. Brereton hurt on the interchange bench. The ball at half-forward for Hawthorn. Paul Deere tries to flip it out. Robran can't get away. Hard in there, so is Lindsay. Filkey for the Crows, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Here's Dermot Brereton on the bench. And there was a cloud over Dermot Brereton before the game. Hodges pulling out for the Adelaide Crows. And maybe Brereton still feeling the twinges. Pritchard can't control it. Good play by Thompson to Filkey. Filkey's left foot kick towards half forward. Collins under pressure. Enormous. McGuinness tackle good. Lindner, handball. Andrew Jarman. Can he control the football? No, he flips it on. Smith, he flips it on. McGuinness now, the chase is on. What can McGuinness do? Kicks it off the ground, outside 50 metres, the ball will trundle. McGuinness goes after it again, but coming in is Tregenza. But Langford eventually finalises things by trundling the ball over for a boundary throw-in.
He's quick for Ginza, isn't he?
My word, there's
very
some
quick.
fantastic efforts out in that ground at the moment.
Throw in. Robin in front to Kennedy Hudson. They gain 25 metres. McDermott sees it over the line.
I think that Graham Corns would be extremely proud of his forwards, who have never at any stage allowed Hawthorn's backs to get out with any cohesion.
Well, there's only 3/4 of a minute to half-time, and I'll bet they get a standing ovation here from this 50,000 strong crowd. They may not be finished with yet. Klug over the top, gets it across to McGuinness, spins out once, twice, shoots. Oh, he's got it! What a goal!
Well, his second goal, Tony McGuinness, as the Crows have kicked their 11, and he was like a slippery eel on that occasion. The ball up, Klug running onto it, the left hand, he didn't look, he knew McGuinness was there. There he is, slipping those tackles onto the right foot, normally a left foot kick, and his second goal, a jubilant Tony McGuinness.
Brilliant stuff by the Crows. 11-6, plays 3-3. Close to siren time. Negri says we'll have another one if we may. Down towards the half-forward line. And that could be holding the ball. It is. Play on. Klug's kick smothered. Down towards Lidner. With him there is McIntyre. So too Hart. Claimed by Ayres. The umpire calls play on, and Langford sees it over the line on the siren. It's half-time. But let's just listen to this crowd. A wonderful first half by the Adelaide Crows. They lead 11-6, 72. Hawthorn are 3-3-21. There's still a half of football to go. But this big crowd standing as one. Listen to them. David Marshall, Jarman, McDermott. They've been three right in the firing line for the Crows. 11-6 plays. Welcome back to Football Park. Both sides out on the ground in the Foster's Cup competition. Graham Corns adopted the attitude of not letting the media or cameras into the room at half-time. Max Stevens is on the boundary line. Max, is he adopting that attitude with the home and away matches?
Certainly is, Sandy, but through the team manager we understand Cornsey has simply said continue on your merry way. But in the Hawthorn rooms, a totally different situation. Alan Joyce still pleading with his players to try and do something to get back into this game. He said he's not happy. In fact, he's screaming at them and asking, let's try and show this parochial crowd that we can play football. Dermot Brereton, well, Dermy just prior to half-time had a pain-killing injection, but we can't confirm if he'll take any more part in the game.
Thank you, Max. Quick look at some individual stats. Gentlemen, Don?
Well, he's a prolific possession winner. No handballs, but 15 kicks, but he's done well. 2 goals to McGuinness.
Hawthorn, of course, struggling, and all their players are finding it difficult, but Dean Anderson in that second term in particular was excellent, and he's tried to get Hawthorn moving.
David Marshall on the wing, as I mentioned, he's the oldest player, and I am very impressed with him. You know, 30 years of age, he's played a lot of football at Glenelg, and he's showing them on the wing.
And Pritchard has been struggling on his wing, having a great contest out there with Marshall, but he's had 15 possessions in the first half.
So set to go in the second half. And the Crows go into the third quarter with a commanding 51-point lead. Negri hammers them into attack once again, but this time it's repelled by Whitman down towards half-forward. And we're seeing some marvellous individual performances tonight. That was a tremendous mark by Tom Warhurst. Marshall, as we've said, has been busy. Whitman has tried hard for Hawthorn. He kicks it high towards half-forward, and Warhurst again takes an easy mark.
Brereton didn't come out with the players. Lawrence is on the bench for Hawthorn, so I wonder whether he's going to take any further part in this game.
Couldn't mark. Platten does well. Across to Dean Anderson. They desperately want a couple of quick goals. They may get one here through a fold over at Negri. Dunstall gets the hand pass away. Allen's kick is high in towards the square, and a fine mark and goal by Jarman.
Well, we see there Robert Thompson arguing with the umpire, saying that Jarman was over the line or put his foot over the line as he made contact with the ball. It was a good effort by Jarman, used his body well. We'll see this on replay. Dunstall tackle. There's the high ball from Allen. There is the mark. No, he was behind the line, the umpire right.
So Darren Jarman gets the first goal of the second half, and a very important one for Hawthorn. They trailed miserably by 51 points at half-time, so now the difference is 45. Hawks trying to get clear, but it's McDermott. Now Klug gets it across to Cregenza. Tackled by Hudson, but he gets his kick away up into the forward pocket. Oh, he should have marked it. Lindner. Ball comes back to Smith. Back to Lindner. Anderson deep in the back pocket, working at one end and then on the other end. Anderson's kick out towards half-back. Lindsay can't control it, much to his disappointment, and we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward for the Crows.
Langford's gone to centre half back with McGuinness at full back for Hawthorn.
Ruckman contesting. Klug, Anderson gets it. A kick back, but the marker's been taken there by Maynard. Maynard gets the handball away. Or Lee could have nearly been caught, but he gets it away to McDermott. McDermott composed, gets onto the left foot, up towards centre half forward. Ayres nearly takes a one-hander. Good interception there on Andrew Jarman. Lindner handballs it wider to Smith. Smith's little chip left foot kick, and the mark is taken there by McIntyre, who's already kicked 3. Opportunity to kick his 4th.
Here's the space. Smith, look at the space in which McIntyre could lead. Filkey could have taken the mark as well. That was good play by Smith.
And McIntyre's only about 30 metres out on a slight angle. Drop punt kick is pretty good. It's straight through the centre. McIntyre 4 goals, Klug 3, the leading goal scorers for the Crows. And Adelaide 12-6 lead Hawthorn 4-3.
Well, he blitzed them in the first quarter, McIntyre. 3 goals. Maybe quiet on the scoreboard in the second. But there he is registering, or will figure soon, registering his 4th. Smith, who also is very, very impressive at centre half forward.
(12-6) plays 4-3, back in the middle again. And it was Robber, and eventually he did get a fist to it. This is Hudson's kick down towards Dunstall. Solid attention by Smart, and the defender pushes it away. Now Dunstall applies the pressure. Morrissey, look at him. A great tackle by Filkey. Call to play on. Jarman under pressure, close to the boundary line. Does well, keeps it in play. His kick drops short, however, and is marked by Warhurst. Goes across the ground. Lindsay. Plenty of room, and he's got a player loose, but he elects to push it 25 metres further out of trouble, and it goes over the line. He did have his skipper, Chris McDermott, there. The two have a little bit of a chat now, and we'll have a throw. I know that Carlton coach David Parkin is amongst this 50,000 strong crowd tonight, and I would imagine, Robbo, he'll be taking plenty of notes.
I'd suggest only a week later the Blues come over here to tackle Adelaide.
Whitman. Good looking kick deep into attack by Whitman. He's really trying his heart out. Lee over the top to Thompson. The Crows defending strongly. Thompson's kick going back towards Smith. Got front position. Just leaned a little into the ball or was pushed and couldn't hold it. Now a chance for Condon. Centering to half forward. Smart over the top. Dunstall gives it away to Kennedy. He's under real pressure. Eventually gets out of it to Platten, but he's claimed by Smart. Wonderful play. McGuinness gets the handball away, and again the Crows are out of trouble. Jarman bounces his way through the middle.
Free kick
Down the ground.
against Ayres for holding Lindner. It was well done by Hayden Kennedy.
So Lindner from 50. Long drop punt. There's another one. They're running right.
Well, they certainly can do no wrong at the moment. They're playing inspired football. Nearly 60 points the difference, 57 to be precise. And the kick from Lindner, that's his first. He's kicked 2 points.
20 minutes left in the third term, and already Adelaide have opened the gap even further from half-time. 13-6 to 4-3. Hawks have kicked one, Adelaide have kicked two. Andrew Jarman and McDermott combine again at the centre. The kick by McDermott is marked by Ayres. Ayres, right foot kick to centre wing. Robran over the top, can't take the mark. Pritchard and Filkey coming in as Kennedy. Collins combines and gets the hand pass away to Robran. Robran short kick. Oh, what a brave, courageous interception by Thompson. He knew he was going to be crunched, but he stood his ground and took the mark well. He's an unfashionable half-back flanker, but by gee, it's hard to get kicks out there. Disciplined effort by the Crows so far. Now Hawthorn through Pritchard. Kicked by that player towards centre-half forward. And nearly the mark. It's been paid by Paul Deere in front of Warhurst. That's where they're falling down. The half-forward line is really struggling. The kick wide. Jarman stands his ground as Maynard falls over. Jarman's little kick. Dunstall overruns it. Getting back as Lee. Handball over the top, Tregenza. Gets it away now to Maynard. He's well caught and should nearly have been rewarded, Paul Hudson. Handball goes wide. A bad fumble by Morrissey. He's having one of his worst nights. Now Tregenza chips in. Tregenza's kick towards centre wing. One-on-one. Langford and Klug. Helping out there was Robran. He gets it to Langford, and Langford runs up over centre wing, up towards half forward. There's a player wide, and the pass is effective. The mark is taken by Collins, who is playing, believe it or not, in the back pocket. Just under 19 minutes left. Hawks need a barrage of goals if they're to have any chance of winning the game. Oh, this is a great kick by Collins. Gets the distance, it goes offline. It's close to the line now. Platten hurries it through with the desperation of Scott Lee for a behind to Hawthorn.
13-6, plays 4-4. Lindsay in the back pocket. Kicks to centre wing. Klug and Langford. Well done by Klug. Got Tregenza and Filkey. They're both quick. Grant Filkey can go over the top to Marshall. He does. David Marshall from 50 metres sets sail for home. It's a beautiful looking kick and marked on the last line of defence by McGuinness. McGuinness's kick to the back pocket. Difficult one for Pritchard. Ayres is there. They need all the help they can get at the moment. Collins.
Oh, tackle.
Playing. Pritchard now. Up to centre wing. Those have the numbers. Negri in front. Well, he's come out from the opening bounce and has been inspiring. He's thumped the ball long distances. His kicking's been solid. Ayres. Over the top to Anderson. The bottom is Pritchard. Marshall puts the pressure on. The kick is wide. It's marked by Condon. But they're just having to look really hard where to go, and they're going short and zigzagging across the ground. They're just being given no latitude whatsoever at the moment by the Crows, who are beating them at their own game.
Oh, what a go. Smart was in front on that occasion. You don't often see Dunstall caught behind.
Smart going to the half-back flank. Lindsay covering plenty of territory. And he kicks to centre wing. Robran at the back. Anderson, McDermott to McGuinness. Too wide. Out of bounds on the foot.
And Lawrence just about to come back on for Hawthorn.
I think Condon's one of the more important players that's been down tonight. He's a player who gets well and truly 25 to 30 possessions every week, and he struggled in the first half. He's had a couple of possessions in the early part of this third quarter, but just a quiet one for Anthony Condon. Collins now kicks over centre wing, punched away there by Warhurst. Diving after it was McDermott. In there is Hart. Quick kick by Lee. Up towards half forward. Marshall can't get it. Collins with desperation. Handball over the top. Player there is Pritchard. He's got the chance to run a little bit with the football, and the pass is pretty good. He finds Darren Jarman. He's had a pretty quiet night. He's been well held. Left foot kick into the pocket. Looking there for Dunstall. There's a free kick being found, and it's against Morrissey. It will go to Lee, who is another one of the dour defenders for the Adelaide Crows. And not looking for too many plaudits, but geez, effective.
He would have played with Jamie Morrissey in the reserves at Hawthorn, Scott Lee. Now played, or last year played with Centrals.
Short pass is effective. The mark is taken by Lindsay.
Bruce Lindsay from the back pocket. To centre wing. Langford fists it down. Whitman towards the line. Platten is there, so too Hudson. The latter takes it. His handball for Condon, it was meant. Comes back to Platten as Negri leaves the ground. Platten sets sail for goal, but his kick is away to the left and another behind.
Johnny Platten's been well held tonight too, Sandy. Most of the kicks that he's had have been under enormous pressure. It's amazing when you have a leg injury, just how difficult it is to get back to the normal pace that you had prior to the injury.
Yes, we've seen it so often, haven't we? 55 points is the margin as Smart has it in the back pocket. Short to Hart. He kicks long up towards the wing. Waiting down is Jarman. Get a good night. In towards Klug. Goes past him. Gary Ayres again tries to crunch through, then throws the ball out in front. Hudson going past. Quickly onto the left foot. That's a better kick. And Lawrence just unable to hold it. Marshall sneaks away. He's had a wonderful evening here at Football Park. And look at this kick.
And the cries of Eddie went up as he took that chest mark.
They love Eddie Hocking here. A high floater. There's two of them there. Smith.
This man's an impressive player. The centre-half forward from Port Adelaide. He was drafted by Essendon, number 11 in the 89 draft. And I am very impressed with him. Good size and playing a difficult position. That's at centre-half forward. He's had two opponents tonight.
Directly in front, kicking from just inside 40 metres. He goes.
Well, his first goal, Smith. And the Crows, they're just going on with this game. 61 points, the margin. And you'd really have to go back through the record books to see the last time Hawthorn were thrashed as they're being thrashed tonight.
Good bounce back in the centre by umpire Kennedy. Hawks striving hard to get it out, but Jarman nearly got it out. Hudson getting back quickly is Filkey. Maybe forced to kick with the left foot. He is. And it will fall nearly into the arms of Ayres. He's quick to get back, Gary Ayres. Forced to handball. Close to the boundary line, Pritchard. Look at the pressure. McGuinness goes to Marshall. Marshall, who finishes nicely. Left foot kick towards full forward, free kick. Gone back to where Marshall had kicked it from. And it will go to the Hawthorn player back there. Not Kennedy, Andrew Collins.
McIntyre now in the ruck for Adelaide with Bruce Lindner at full forward with Negri off the ground.
Not a lot of system in Hawthorn's moving forward. Robran takes the mark and gives it to Ben Allen. Allen's kick up towards half forward, but brilliantly chipping in is Thompson. Thompson goes direct, looking there for Smith. He flies a little too high, a little too fiercely. Jenke gets back. Kick across his body, up towards half forward. Running underneath it was Deere, but he gathers it nicely. His recovery was good. Kick into the pocket. Here's an opportunity for Hawthorn. Jarman, that's Darren. Clever. Kicks a goal by the look of it. It is a goal. Very difficult to tell because not too many cheers when the Hawks kick a goal. Darren Jarman gets his second.
And I thought he mucked it up on that occasion. Maybe should have kicked it as soon as he got it. There, the ball goes over Lawrence. Should have kicked it now, but went that extra step. Didn't look a good kick off the boot, but nonetheless very effective. And his second. Both goals coming in this the third quarter for Darren Jarman.
Boos you can hear in the background because Dermot Brereton is warming up on the sidelines. Back in the middle. 90 plays 35. The Hawks wanting goals and wanting them rapidly.
That's an interesting decision there. Matthew Robran having the ball underneath him. Umpire never even thought about penalising him, and yet on other occasions you see the player penalised.
It's I think going to create and raise plenty of arguments throughout the season, that particular rule. Jarman gets a hurried kick. Brereton just onto the ground. Now, this is where he could lift. He runs into Tregenza.
Yeah. No. He had his eyes on the ball. Eyes on the ball.
Well, they want something special. Hawthorn very quickly. Brereton kicks to half forward and a good mark taken by Deere. He plays on quickly. 65 metres out. Was looking for Platten, but it dropped short. Now pressure on the Crows' defence. And they may lose out here because Ben Allen pulls it back beautifully in towards full forward. And which way will it bounce? Kept in play by Whitman. Swings round his body. That's a good-looking kick as well. Just off target, one behind. So under 11 minutes remaining. Lindsay kicks back into play. Finds Filkey. Towards Smart. Pushes it out in front of Robin, who's going with him, so he's forced to soccer off the ground. Gathers valuable meterage, but straight to Ray Jenke. Jenke floating it back again towards the wing. Over the top it goes. Filkey will be free kick.
If there's any sign of cockiness about the Adelaide Crows, it was that play there by, I think it was Smart, when he tried to handball it to himself to his own advantage and go on with it.
Marshall on centre wing. Well, he's run right on the wings tonight, David Marshall. Had a wonderful game. To the right half forward flank. McDermott, just like a bull terrier. Eddie, now that is a throw, Eddie. That is a dead set throw.
Eddie the Eagle or Eddie the Crow?
Back it comes. Warhurst and Brereton.
Picked up by Cameron, just having a talk to Eddie Hocking there, who disputed that decision.
Kennedy in towards the middle. Brereton trying to do the work from behind. Allen couldn't take it. He's at the bottom and there'll be another bounce. Has not been the freaks night. McDermott, high kick, doesn't gather a lot of distance. Tregenza stands his ground. Little Eddie, he's like a bull terrier. He is like a bull terrier, Eddie Hocking. Out it comes towards Tregenza again. Gets it away to Klug. John Klug sweeps it wide. Only as far as Langford. There's two of them there, the Crows, however, and it's Jarman who takes it on to Bruce Lindsay. Lindsay towards the 50-metre line is good football, and Klug's out in front. He goes short again, Smith.
Klug beat three Hawthorn opponents on that occasion. He was the only Crow. There were three Hawks, and he still got the ball away.
It was a beautifully weighted kick by Lindsay earlier.
And there he is, Klug and Smith copping one for his trouble.
Darren Smith going for his second. And he misses.
Can't you tell?
Absolute silence. Graham Corns looking a little concerned with Michael Taylor. Really, they must deep down be absolutely thrilled, because this is not only a murder of Crows, it's a murder by the Crows.
Kick goes back in towards the centre. Pritchard takes the mark. Gives a lovely little hand pass to Whitman, who's tried very, very hard. Chris Whitman, probably Hawthorn's best player. And the short pass, nearly effective to Jarman, who obviously is injured. Kicked by Paul Deere across his body, in towards the front of the square. Warhurst gives away a behind, and professionally done, Tom Warhurst. 5-7, 14-7, 9 goals, the lead for the Adelaide Crows. Alan Joyce got a few problems on his mind. Lee kicks it in. No one home. Marshall all on his own. Player short. And it's effective. McIntyre takes the mark. He's played some sort of a game. Has Peter McIntyre. He's kicked four.
Eddie.
Kick towards half forward. Hocking! Whoa! Eddie Hocking brings the crowd to their feet.
50 metres.
The crowd is screaming for a penalty, but it's not to come. Eddie Hocking, a youngster, backs himself. Two bounces. 50 metres from goal. Hawking goes bang, but misses to the left.
Well, he's known as the Scud Missile, and I tell you what, he was just about one then.
And all the crowd, they came to their feet when he got the ball.
I think he's a bit of a cult hero, Eddie Hawking. Chris Langford, 7.5 minutes left. Kicks it in to the outer side. Lovely drop punt. Punched away by McIntyre. Here's Hawking again. The crowd are excited. McGuinness takes the mark. Little bit of good fortune, or maybe give the player Hawking the credit. The little pass could have been meant for Tony McGuinness. And not known as a really long kick of the football, McGuinness, he's going to have to kick at 50 metres, a little bit more to score. Nice long kick into the square, marking contest, it's punched away. First to recover is McGuinness. Good interception by Tregenza. He's deep in the pocket, kicks it across his body, the kick's going downfield. Tregenza crunched to the ground as he kicked it, and the free kick will be in front of goal to be taken there by Lingner. David Marshall comes in and taps Simon Tregenza on the bottom. Great stuff.
And I'm a little bit surprised, Ian. A crowd of 44,902. It looks to me to be chock-a-block. But that's it.
Lingner bangs it straight through the centre. Lindner's kicked his second. The Crows have got their 15th. They lead by 61 points.
And Hawthorn, I don't think I've seen them play as badly as this before. Hawthorn, they are running second in every instance. And Lindner lining up for his second. Last week they were champions, Hawthorn. This week, just also Rans.
A week in football is a long, long time.
My word, Sanders, I just said. Champions last week, also Rans this week.
Centre bounce once more. McIntyre gives it away to McGuinness. McDermott gives it to Maynard. Towards half forward, Klug playing in front. Jarman wanted the advantage, but it's got to come back. Klug calling for it quickly. Wants to get it down into that forward zone. They've been peppering the goals. Lindner may not get there. He doesn't, and Kennedy will take it.
He's a solid man, John Kennedy's one player that will hold his ground in the side.
Looks towards Robran, and that's a good mark. Polite applause for the South Australian. Goes into the middle. Langford at the bottom. McGuinness gets it out. Across to Fielke. Looking for Hart. Just a little too high. Past Ayres it goes. Collins is with him. So too Robran. Gets a kick out to the wing, and Pritchard. He's been quiet. So too is Anderson. The Hawks go inside 50 metres, and a good mark taken by Deer. Paul Deer, pretty tight angle. The Hawks have managed to kick only 5 goals tonight. 2 of those to Darren Jarman, both in this quarter. So Paul Deer going for his first. He's on the right side, being a left footer. And he's kicked a good goal.
There was just no indication over here if the ball even reaches the scoring zone. You think the ball's gone out of bounds. There was just nothing at all. This is the most parochial crowd I've ever heard. All they do is cheer their own as Negri coming on and McIntyre off. You can hear their applause in the background, and there's the kick by Deer. A good kick, and that's Hawthorn's 6th.
Negri, after coming on the ground, he charges. It doesn't win the ball. Platten gets it out. Hudson on quickly to Pritchard. Down towards full forward. Smart in front. Couldn't take the mark. Dunstall flicks it out towards Allen, who snaps at goal and puts it through from behind.
I tell you, he's shown a fair bit tonight for Hawthorn in a side that's been beaten badly. Matthew Robran. I think he's shown them enough that they can persevere, and he'll be a good player for them.
Well, of course, the Hawks are without Greg Deer for a long time.
And he is a major loss, Sandy, as is Chris New.
Smart. Tucked in the back pocket.
Smart looking to give the hand pass away. Lee may get run down. No, he gets the handball away to Andrew Jarman. Andrew Jarman's drop punt kick wide to the wing. Out there is Langford, but chipping in beautifully was Tregenza. Klug. Oh, look, he just looks too good, Klug. Hart, now Hocking. Goes one way, goes the other. Handballs it away. Here goes Maynard. Into the open goal. There's another one to the Crows. Scintillating football by the Adelaide Crows from one end of the ground to the other. It starts with Smart. 5 or 6 players combined, they get another goal.
Well, what Rod sold in the room is the fact that Maynard is the centre half back on Paul Deere. And this is his second goal. It's just not a fluke. That's his second goal.
Just under 4 minutes left. 10 goals the difference. Who would have thought it? 11-4 the Adelaide side just to win the game. Or about 10-1 to win by over 39 points. So the football punters, anyone who was a gambler, could have really cleaned up here tonight. Anderson gets the free kick. The short pass is taken by Condon. Hawks just can't get that loose man going. Condon's kick to a crowded centre half forward position. Hudson, brilliant gather. Can't get the handball away. Does. It's intercepted brilliantly by Filkey. Handball over the top to McDermott. He's got a bit of space for the first time tonight. Direct kick towards full forward. Goes over the players' heads. Lindner fighting hard. So is McGuinness at the bottom of the pack. Lindner appealing for it. Umpire Kennedy will bounce.
Brereton's hurt, I think, behind play. Again.
Well, he went for that big fly. Lindner was holding McGuinness on that occasion too. The umpire just did not pick that up.
So while Brereton receives some advice, McGuinness has it at half forward, under pressure.
Collins
now he pounces on that ball again, Chris McDermott.
Collins frustrated. He threw Marshall out of the fray when the ball was nowhere near them.
Hurt his arm, I think.
Or is it his nose? He's holding his nose.
So frustration for the Hawks. Tackle too high.
Collins, hands on hips or on his knees. He's not too good behind play, Collins. And the trainer's put his hand up.
In the meantime, Don Platten takes his kick to centre wing. Negri and Little Eddie. Now Filkey. Flicks it high around his body. Platten in over the top. Marshall waits down. David Marshall scoots away as the Crows go in towards Lindner. At the back is Smith, and it's taken through by Jenke for one behind.
Collins seems to be all right. He's broken away from the trainers. There he is. John Kilpatrick left the screen.
Jenke to bring it back into play. Goes to the outer side. Kennedy and McDermott. Kennedy the first to recover. A hurry kick into the middle, short to Platten. Spoons it towards the half-forward line. Filkey's had a very good night. Mind you, many of the Crows have. The teamwork has been exemplary. Hart to the outer wing. McDermott is there on his own. Gets his kick, eventually just in time. Towards Smith, tried to palm it down and does so to McGuinness. If he gets round Jenke, they're in business. McGuinness kicks towards Lindner and McGuinness. How about? That's a goal! Oh! They can do no wrong.
Well, you've taken the words right out of my mouth, as Meatloaf said, Sandy, because they can do no wrong. The Crows, what a magnificent goal. And here it is on replay. McDermott, the high ball. Smith, McGuinness skirting the pack from a difficult angle. McGuinness claims he touched the ball, but the umpire won't have a bar of it. And McGuinness, that's his third.
Bounce back in the centre. Robran, Whitman, high kick. Anderson, Lindsay nearly takes the mark. Anderson collects it, tries to give it to Paul Deere. In turn to Platten, but he's too crowded. The kick is ineffective. In towards the forward pocket. Brereton tackles Filkey. He didn't have the football, the Adelaide Crows player, and Dermott shakes his head in disgust. This player's grown another leg. In a Collingwood Guernsey, couldn't get a kick. Oh, look at this! If you don't mind, Andrew Jarman. Hand pass wide, goes to Lee. Lee's kick. Smart's on his own. He'll run all the way down the ground. A very athletic young man, Nigel Smart. High kick to half forward. Kennedy gets back with strength. Langford, handball. Oh, Pritchard, you're in trouble. Lots of trouble. Crows irrepressible. Tregenza. McDermott goes bang. Close to the goal line. It's a mark, is it? No, it's not. It's through from behind. And there's the siren to end the third term. And the Crows fans are out of their tree. Adelaide 17-10, lead Hawthorn 6-8.
17 goals, 9 to 6-8. Can you believe it, Ian Robertson?
Well, it's been just fantastic. Their discipline has been enormous. I think that Graham Corns, who is in the picture there with a few of his players, has done a wonderful job with his team. And Don, their discipline is something that has to be admired.
My word, it does, and they're certainly going hard in at the ball, and also they're picking their men up when they haven't got the ball. And the stats, well, Hawthorn have come up a little bit. They scored 23 points that time, Hawthorn, to 40, but still the Crows in front. The margin's 68 points, and it's interesting to reflect that last year the largest losing margin by Hawthorn was 75 points against Essendon, and their lowest score last year was 9-5. So two records could be set this year by Hawthorn.
So Alan Joyce leaves the ground. Let's go down to the boundary now. And here once again is Max Stevens.
Well, Sandy, Graham Corns, as one would expect, is pretty happy with the way things are going here at Football Park. He's asked his players to finish it off and don't do anything stupid. Alan Joyce, well, what does a coach do in this situation? He said to his players, if you can't get in front, can we at least see some tackling?
I thought I detected a touch of hoarseness in Max Stevens'
What
throat
about
there.
Graham Corns coming off, Sandy? He's upset there, shaking his fist at Neil Curley. I don't know whether it's anything between those two people, but still a very determined look on his face. And I would suggest that he would want to outscore Hawthorn in this last quarter.
Well, it's his first game for the season in the AFL. It's a history-making night.
Gary Ayres in the centre now for Hawthorn. You see there, Andrew Jarman. He'd have hands as good as Greg Williams from Sydney Swans.
That's Romano Negri, and he has been a powerhouse. Up against him is another youngster, a promising youngster, Matthew Robran.
Ben Allen has gone to pick up Eddie Hocking on the back line for Hawthorn.
So here we go, the final quarter. And the Adelaide Crows will want to work on percentage. The Hawks hoping to regain some pride. A line ball to centre wing, Morrissey. Flicking it out quickly. Robran on to Platten. He's got to give a little ground to make some. Goes to half forward, and Warhurst comes out strongly.
Yes, and Brereton was left flat-footed.
He goes out wide. They're just running and running. It's like the Hawthorn we've come to know. Lee goes to centre wing. Klug goes to half forward. Marshall gets in front to weight down. He doesn't have to. Smith's just too good. May get caught here. No. Gets around and pokes it in towards the pocket. Lidner is there. Can't take the mark. Allen is there, and so too Morrissey. Kennedy. John Kennedy has a look over his shoulder nonchalantly.
50-metre penalty, Sandy.
And picks up the ball to take advantage of that penalty. Brings him down to centre wing.
There's just no movement at all on that Hawthorn forward line. Morrissey's now creating an option.
Kennedy kicks inside 50 going towards Morrissey, and that is why he's called the freak, because he has the ability to do things like that, and it's a pretty good looking shot at goal. It's through. A faint ripple of applause for James Morrissey's first goal.
Very, very faint. All I heard was boo. So when you score a goal over here, it's obviously a boo. And Morrissey, as I mentioned in this lead-up, was the only fellow to cause any movement. He ran across that half-forward line. The ball went to him. If you create some movement, the ball always seems to go to that particular player. That was a good passage of play by Morrissey, because he was the only one who tried.
The confidence is way down Hawthorn, and these people, the Adelaide Crows, are sky high. Negri gets the tap out, Jarman brilliantly, as usual. Kick directly towards goal. McGuinness taps it away. Hocking, handball, intercepted by Hudson. Getting back there is Ben Allen. But the free kick against the Crows will go to the Hawthorn player in the back pocket.
And Rotram's hurt in the centre of the ground. I think he may have twisted his ankle when he contested that last bounce down. He's going to be carried off the ground.
Ben Allen's kick high towards centre half back. At the back, Langford intelligently tries to get it to Anderson. Anderson collects it nicely. Handball to Jenke. Jenke's kick out in front. Darren Jarman rather punched away there by Thompson. And there's Robran. Well, let's hope that's not too serious. But he's limping badly with the aid of the trainers. A right ankle by the look of it, and he will be replaced by Lawrence. Paul Deere doing the ruck work. He's missed out in the height stakes. Most emphatically has Paul Deere. Morrissey's kick, but in that ruck contest, the free kick is against Paul Deere, and it will go back there to Lindsay.
Holding.
No, it won't. It'll go to Negri. There's Matthew Robran being assisted to the interchange bench. McDermott. Oh, down he goes. Oh, there'll be a fight on here. Negri's in quickly. McDermott's hurt. That was terrible stuff there by the two Hawthorn players, and McDermott has not moved. Chris McDermott, the captain, has not moved. Play should be held up. It's not. It's going on in the forward pocket. Hart fighting hard for the ball. And now it goes over, and surely the umpires will have to stop play, because McDermott has remained absolutely still after that crunch. His head moving, trainers holding him back. Play goes on, thump back over the boundary line, and we'll have another throw in as the runner goes to the umpire to signal that there is something serious happened to Chris McDermott back at centre half back for Hawthorn. The stretcher is out.
Now, why is Peter Cameron going up there?
He's a courageous man, this fellow.
I think he's going to report Brereton. I think also Hayden Kennedy is doing exactly the same. Going down to Brereton.
Well, now I ask the question, if that was the case, why did play go on? And now why do they report
because
the
of the advantage? The ball went down the ground and the advantage was being paid.
Well, okay, one umpire takes care of the game where the ball is. Why didn't the other umpire do the reporting on the spot? That's what we've got two umpires for.
Well, he's been reported. They don't have to report them on the spot. They can report them
or
let the club know after the game, actually.
Yes, and maybe the seriousness of this man who's being helped off the ground on the stretcher. Well, he's conscious, or is he? He doesn't look too good, does he?
I think he's conscious, which is good news, but he's as tough as nails.
He looked at one stage, Sandy, as though he really wanted to carry on. The trainers certainly, and he's not going. Well, I guess on the stretcher you can still come back if you do recover, but I don't think they need him now anyway.
He hasn't gone through interchange anyway, so he won't be coming back on.
He's conscious, but I'm sure he'll sleep well tonight.
Well, this will be the interesting 21 minutes left.
So a fight behind play now with McGuinness and Lindner. And the umpires want to take stock of this situation very quickly, otherwise something nasty could develop. Marshall takes it from Lindsay. A high kick in towards full forward. And
that's a Tiggy touch one. Tiggy touch wood
to split it up.
Yeah, just to split it up, gain a little bit of control. And if Hawthorn, they should have done something, maybe along this line earlier when the game was getting away from them if they were fair income.
Ayres couldn't take it. Big Romano Negri. Little Eddie hugs the boundary line. It's exciting Eddie hockey. To David Marshall. Towards half forward. No mark taken. Klug's got to try and beat three of them, and he just about does, although I think he'll lose it on that occasion. Too slow to get rid of it. Kennedy to centre wing. McGuinness couldn't take it. Jarman can. Pumps it back into the forward line once again. Waiting down. Daryl Hart. Hart goes over the top. Here's another one to Smith. His second.
Well, he is good at reading the play, Hart. He had a purple patch tonight against Geelong. Kicked 4 goals, I think, from memory. And here he is reading it well, getting underneath that pack, spotting Smith, and that's the way to answer any aggressive stuff. He's on the scoreboard, and the Crows have done it.
Back in the centre, Adelaide 18-10, Hawthorn 7-8. The Crows go right on with it. Ayres, his kick is smothered. Now Hawthorn looking to force it forward, but a free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going back there to Maynard. Maynard's drop punt kick towards centre half forward. High flyers by the Crows. Klug, who never looks as though he's getting out of first gear. Allen chips in for Hawthorn. Good kick by Allen, finds Morrissey on his own. Doing the chasing is Filkey, but Morrissey gets his kick away. Up towards half forward, Burton from behind. Maynard gives it away to Thompson. Oh, that could be penalised. Thompson's kick. No way known, he was trying to keep it inside the field of play, but umpire Cameron gives the all clear. We'll have a boundary throw in 50 metres from goal. There's young Matthew Robber, he's got an ice pack on his knee, so it doesn't look too good.
Ayres, a hurried kick. Going to be close to the boundary line. Either way, it's a South Australian ball with Lee marking. Ooh, not a good kick. Morrissey intercepts. Here's a chance now for Anderson going into the open goal, but he misses to the right. (7-9). Plays 18-10.
It's a strong mark, Maynard.
Tell you what, I'll be looking forward to seeing the front page of the newspapers in South Australia tomorrow.
It's bad enough today, Sandy, just in the preview.
But they were right, weren't they? We will win in big bold letters. Kick by Lawrence went nowhere. He may get another chance. No, he won't. Filkey, set by Ayres, but it's a free kick, and it's going back to the Crows to be taken by Rodney Jamieson. Gives it to Filkey. So Filkey sends him towards Smith. Just couldn't quite complete the mark. Hart got the handball out quickly, but taken away by McGuinness. And this time it is Allen who pokes short towards Anderson on the half-back flank for Hawthorn. Dean Anderson looking towards centre wing, and a good mark on this occasion taken by Anthony Condon. We've had a number of players down tonight, but that's full credit to South Australia. The Hawks just haven't been able to get in it. Pritchard towards Dunstall. At the back, Jarman. He can kick another one here. He can walk into goal. And he hits the post!
Oh, dear.
And that made happy.
As if that hasn't made the supporters happy.
Let's go down to the boundary line. And what's the situation with Chris McDermott, Max?
Sandy, Chris McDermott, he's in the rooms. He's surrounded by a team of doctors. Now, the good news is he's only dazed, and if you can believe it, he's asking the doctors or telling them he wants to get back out onto the ground.
I can believe that, because that's the sort of player he is.
But I don't think he can come back onto the ground because of the fact he didn't go through the interchange.
If you've been taken off on a stretcher, you can be taken off anywhere on the ground and still come back on.
Hart. Thank you, Robbo. Jarman. The Crows irrepressible. Lindner looks for the free kick. Klug at the back. It didn't quite sit for him. Langford heads for the boundary line, and it goes over. John Klug. 3 goals.
Enigmatic, isn't he, that fellow?
Yes.
He had a stint at Richmond earlier in his career too. Just couldn't make it down there.
Tonight a star. Jamieson was at the bottom of the pack. Whitman gets it out. Set sail across the centre once again. Jarman comes to meet it. Gives it away quickly to Paul Deere. Stabs it in towards Dunstall out on a long lead. A good kick. Brereton and Platten go back into the square. Platten gives him a lead. The kick is not a good one. Lindsay could be first to this. And really that does tell the tale of Hawthorn tonight, as Thompson gets the Crows out of trouble again.
Kicks it to centre half forward. Kennedy falls over it. He gets the handball away. Andrew Jarman leads in the race for the ball. Sweeping hand pass back is brilliant to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick to centre half forward. No mark taken. The ball goes through the back. Allen looks as though he may be playing in the back pocket. McGuinness under pressure. So is Allen, but he gets his kick away. Out towards half back. It's gathered there by Anderson. Anderson short kick. Now Hawthorn have got a chance. Condon running up to centre wing. One bounce.
Goes in towards the middle. Now Pritchard towards Platten. Can't get front spot, and a good mark taken by Lee.
Good use of the body by Lee.
Well, he's looking for 50 then, but didn't get it. Jarman intercepting. Towards Dunstall, who's forced to prop a little, but is quicker to recover than Smart. Now Smart's on his hammer, and he does well. Does extremely well. Gets it across to Marshall, and again, the Crows out of strife. Over the top, Tregenza. He had a magnificent first half, Tregenza. Maynard to half forward, Smith in front, the juggler.
Bounced off his head nearly, I think, didn't it?
I think it doesn't matter, he's still paid.
But that's a sign of just how well they're travelling.
Yep. In towards the forward zone once more. Kluger's there, Filkey in front. May run out of room. Does. Well, they've got almost 45,000 here tonight. They're going to win by probably 70 points. And they play host to Carlton next week. I would imagine that will be a sellout as well.
Well, let's hope so. We thought that there was going to be over 50,000 here tonight, but there's a few spare spots. Hawthorn still striving hard to clear the ball. McGuinness gets it onto the left foot and kicks it back in towards the centre. Maynard overruns it. Marshall tries to get the handball back to the player. Diving on it, Paul Deere. Now Ayres gives it to Hudson. Hudson, a quick kick. Slews off the side of his boot. Anderson could mark. He just drops it, but Platten's there to help him out. The kick towards half forward. Brereton marks, and the boos are apparent at Football Park. Brereton, the player who bounced Chris McDermott earlier in this quarter. Brereton's high drop punt kick. Right on the goal line. It could go through. It is. No, it's touched on the line. Gee, it's hard to tell from here. The ball looked as though it carried. And on the boundary line, Max Stevens, you have word on Matthew Robran.
According to the Hawthorn runner, Matthew Robran has a corked thigh. Now, another official tells us that it's an ankle, but he will not be taking any further part in the game. So 50 each way on that one.
And you can't lose. Thank you, Max. Out of bounds on the outer side. Just under 14 minutes remaining.
I'm just thinking, I reckon this is the worst Hawthorn side I have seen.
Well, you've said that twice now, so you obviously mean it, Dom. Negri in front. Ayres to the forward line. Dunstall in trouble. Can he get out of it? Gives it to Paul Deere. Standing start with a left foot kick is wide to the left. But are you taking credit away from the Crows?
No,
Dom?
that's a compliment to the Crows, because last week we saw them completely obliterate North Melbourne, Hawthorn, and it's a compliment to the Crows because they've made them look really ordinary.
Back into play once more. Smart.
Oh, John, that's down the ground. Frustration by John Platten.
Negri can just keep going.
Oh, this is going to rub salt into the wound, the big ruckman.
He just lumbers away, gives it to Jamison. Jamison bounces his way almost to 50 metres and sets sail with a long kick into the forward line. Off hands to Lidner. Quick hand pass to Hart. Goal! How good's that?
How good? I'd say very good. That was very, very quick thinking by Lidner to spot Hart. Unselfish play too. It was a great kick by Jamison. He started on the bench. All left footers seem to be good kicks. Hudson should have really taken that. There's Lidner. Bang into the centre. Good play. They just can do no wrong. The side.
Well, the Adelaide Crows, they're just under 12 goals in front, and we've still got 13 minutes left. 19-10 to 7-12. Well, I don't think anyone would have predicted this. Most of us probably thought it would be a close game, but with Hawthorn winning. But they have just played fantastic football, the Crows, and they've been led by the player who's going to be last up in this incident, Andrew Jarman in the centre. Tony McGuinness, the big fellow in the picture. Negri was magnificent early. Now Lawrence gets the tap out. Maynard's kick wide towards the wing. Anderson marks, plays on. Can't quite control the football. The pressure is good by Hockey. Now the pressure good by Filkey, and eventually the Crows will get the football because they had the numbers. Marshall's kick across his body with the left foot has been marked by Jenke at half-back for Hawthorn. Always the Crows putting pressure on. Still not prepared to give in, and they lead by 12 goals. Lawrence marks. Short kick. Taken by Condon, who's had a quiet night. Condon's kick. High towards centre-half forward. Brereton tries to flip it over the back. Gathered there by Lee. Tregenza was a little bit of poor play, but good pressure by Warhurst. Tregenza goes back and makes up for his earlier slight error. McGuinness comes away with the football. Delivery magnificent. Mark taken by Klug. Looking to play on is John Klug. They've got players running free further up the field. He kicks it into the pocket. Leading out there, Linda. McGuinness is close. Goes back, Scott McGuinness. Keeps his footing. Hand pass too fierce. Good gather by Jamieson. Left foot kick by that player. No, it's out of bounds. A little bit earlier in the right forward pocket. The boundary umpire a little slow as Peter McIntyre is quite happy with himself. And down there, Max, you have an update on Chris McDermott.
Just spoken with the Adelaide doctor, Chris McDermott, a little concussed, won't take any further part in this game, but he is fine.
Thank you, Max. Hart. Which way will it bounce?
The right way.
1 point goal.
Touched off the
Must have
boot.
been off the boot.
Yep.
19-11. Plays 7-12. Langford. Across to Condon. Spark really has gone out of this game as far as the Hawks are concerned. Only life now is when the Crows get a goal. And that, of course, brings the house down. Hudson's hand pass didn't quite accommodate Morrissey the first time. It did the second. That's a pretty good looking shot for goal. And he has kicked his second.
It was initiated by Paul Hudson up from the back pocket. Getting it across to Morrissey. Really no pressure in the game now. It's only a matter of fact. There it is. Morrissey messing it up, fumbling, but butters up. And you can see there, really no pressure at all. He wouldn't have been able to do that earlier in the game. And Morrissey, his second goal.
Well, it just goes to show if you've got 20 committed players, you can make a game of anything in Australian rules. And that's exactly what Graham Corns has had tonight. These guys have given their all. Hawthorn go to centre-half forward. Punched away by Lindsay. Goes back in towards the centre. Gathered by Whitman. He spots a player wide. Half forward on this member's side. It's Condon. Condon kicks it into the pocket. Will it carry? It does. Just nicely for Brereton. And the boos are there again. Dermott, not the #1 pin-up boy here at Football Park. Player coming off. Negri being replaced by McIntyre as Brereton prepares to shoot for goal. Drop punt kick goes across the face, and it's through for a behind to Hawthorn. That's their 13th. 8-13, and the Crows 19-11. Well, they've been entertained, haven't they, Sandy? They've come here expecting the utmost, and they've got it. Delivered by 20 very good people here in the Adelaide Crows Guernsey. There's a 15-metre penalty against Johnny, 50-metre penalty rather against Johnny Platten, and it'll bring the ball up near the centre, and Hart will kick the Crows into attack.
He's been totally committed, haven't he?
Terrific stuff.
Lee on his own on the wing. Kicks the Crows up towards the half-forward line. Klug, the juggler. Swings it up in towards full forward. McGuinness, the spoiler from behind. Kennedy is there too. Smith also for the Crows. Socket off the ground. Back towards the half-back line, and Morrissey wants someone going past. Ayres couldn't take it cleanly. Pritchard can. In towards the centre. Anderson and Lindsay. Anderson wins out. Does well.
At least one Hawthorn player that's tried tonight, Anderson.
Goes towards Brereton. Got in front, but couldn't hold it. Oh, Marshall, clean bowl. Well, he's made very few mistakes tonight. And he'll butter up again for another possession. Clever kick. Beautiful to Jarman. Standing start.
Another nail in the Hawk coffin.
It was interesting when he got the ball there, Jarman. All the guys pointed towards goal, as the cricketers do when the ball goes past the field. They all point in the direction of where the ball's got to be fielded. And on this occasion, they all pointed to Jarman in the direction of goal, kicked the goal. And that's what he did do. Has done very, very well in the centre tonight. Andrew Jarman, his first.
Well, the scoreboard, 131 to 61. Great effort by Adelaide. Big punch by Lawrence. 8 minutes left. Pritchard. Handball unselfishly to Morrissey. Morrissey to Dunstall. And we'll get some ironical cheers, I would think. No, we don't. The crowd are starting to leave Football Park. 44,000 people coming out here tonight to watch the Adelaide Crows in their first game in the AFL.
Well, Dunstall's only kicked the 1 goal. That was in the first quarter.
Dunstall shoots for goal with the drop punt. It's close. It misses. Darren Jarman has kicked 2 goals for Hawthorn. James Morrissey has kicked 2. The leading goal scorer for the evening has been Peter McIntyre, who at the moment is on the interchange bench. He's kicked 4. Klug 3 and McGuinness, Tony McGuinness that is, for the Crows 3 each. Lee kicks it in short. Thompson takes the mark. All the fight gone out of the Hawks. Thompson runs around onto the right foot, kicks it high back in towards the centre. Over the top, Jamison can't mark, but he's quick to recover. He gets the handball straight to Allen, the opponent. Morrissey, left foot kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Brereton collects it. Gives it away to Lawrence. Lawrence spots a player further afield. It's Dunstall. Smart, who is athletic, goes after Dunstall. He's been a great opponent. Nigel Smart for the champion Hawthorn spearhead, and he forces the play out of bounds.
Throw in, Maynard at the bottom, but it's Jarman who comes out with it to Hart. Another hand pass away to Thompson, and the Crows out of defence, up towards their attacking zone. Hudson recovers well, but McGuinness is on him. Kennedy's caught. He's lost it.
3 Crows around 1 Hawk.
The battle of the birds.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do they go in an aerial duel, the Crows and the Hawks?
Well, I would normally back a Hawk.
I would too.
But if you've got 3 Crows...
They've been decimated tonight.
A murder. A murder.
They've pecked and pecked and pecked and pulled the Hawk apart.
So Libner has picked 2 goals, both of those in the 3rd quarter. Coming into the side, replacing Scott Hodges. Failed a fitness test this morning. There's another one. No worries at all. And the Crows continue on their merry way. 21-11, 137. Hawthorn 8-14, 62.
Well, quickly doing my maths, that's that 75-point margin I mentioned. Last year Hawthorn were beaten. Their largest losing margin was 75 points by Essendon in round 15, and they've opened their account with the same margin. The lowest score actually last year was 9-5 Hawthorn.
They could get a chance to go forward here through Pritchard. His left foot kick is high towards centre forward. Brereton battling hard under duress. Platten, Pritchard, Anderson, and eventually the umpire picking a free kick out. And it could have been a little bit of a sympathy one there. It's going to Anderson, wide of the centre. Anderson kicks it inside 50 metres. Smart there. And he gets after it again. Gives it to Thompson. Gee, they share it around beautifully, those defenders. And Tregenza's little pass finds Filkey on his own. Filkey, a little stab pass, little drop punt pass. It's broken down by Langford. Langford comes through strongly for Hawthorn. And a long kick by the Hawthorn fullback up towards full forward. Brilliant play by Dunstall, but he misses. And it would have been a great goal by Jason Dunstall if it had come off. But he's had a dirty night as well. The delivery upfield has been very ordinary. And the champion full forward has had very few chances. 5 minutes left. Lee kicks it into the outer side.
21-11 to 8:15. The chant will go up for Eddie here in a minute. He pushes it 20 metres. Gets it to the wing. Morrissey caught.
It's a throw.
Tregenza. Opened like lightning tonight. And showed us glimpses of his blistering pace. McGuinness to the forward zone. Smith has been a winner up there. So too has Klug. And Smith didn't connect with the ball. Klug did. Don't tell me he's kicked another one. He has. He has.
He is very lackadaisical, Klug. The way he seems to have plenty of time to do what he wants. That's his 4th goal. I think he's up to 3 in the first half. But watch this on replay. The ball comes out.
Bang. That hurt.
There. Just one step. Casually across his left shoulder. He's kicked 4 goals, 1 for the night. Klug at centre-half forward. A great effort. And Langford looks like he's limping.
He was the one that cocked the boot. But we go back to the centre. Jarman's at the bottom. Still there, and he does effectively get the ball out, but it goes straight to Kennedy. A high kick towards the half-forward line. Thompson's at the back. Waiting down Lindsay. Back to Thompson. Wide to the wing. Tregenza a chance to run. Keeps the ball in play, but he ran out of partners. Morrissey. Hawks have the numbers on this occasion. Jarman will have a shot perhaps inside 50. He does. Set sail for home. McIntyre is going to mark this, however, and does. Well, they come out with ease. Absolute ease. Maynard running down the flank. Gives it to Grantley-Filkey, who gets around Lawrence. Stabs in towards the half-forward line, and Marshall will take yet another possession.
Like a practice match now, Sandy.
It is. Here's Smith. Oh, it's too easy.
It is. And this would be disappointing Alan Joyce and his cohorts, I think, watching from the coach's box. Well, if you go down, you must go down fighting all the way through.
I'm sure Hawks supporters around the country will be bitterly disappointed.
Oh, look at this.
No one on him. No one.
That's Maynard.
You sound surprised. He's already done it twice.
That's the 3rd time. This could be the 3rd. He's centre-half back.
2 goals from the defender.
Oh. He's loving it. Rodney Maynard.
We'll now make that 3. Well, that really is rubbing salt into the wound. And what a gaping wound it is.
Oh. I think that picture tells the story. Boy, to let the centre-half back, that's the 3rd time. You think after the first you'd button up and really tighten up, but to let it happen another twice. Oh.
2.5 minutes
it's
left.
Unforgivable. It's just unforgivable.
Don, are you disappointed with Hawthorn at the moment?
Oh, it's, you know, I'm just shaking my head in bewilderment.
2.5 minutes left, and the Adelaide Crows go marching on. Hawthorn, Whitman, who's been an honest goer, kicked the ball to centre-half forward. Jarman can't get away, but he gets the handball to Brereton, who in turn gives it to Anderson. Anderson looking to give it off. He should be penalised. He will be. Too long, far too long. Hocking wastes no time. Gives it away to Filkey. Filkey, in turn, goes to McIntyre. Oh, he nearly came down from a Lawrence tackle. Back he goes to Filkey. Filkey's little chip pass is pretty good, and the mark is taken by McGuinness in front of Hudson.
Been a good player, Filkey, hasn't he?
Yeah, very good. Well, pick some bad ones in the Adelaide Crows jumper, Sandy, and I think you'd be critical. They've been a fantastic team all night. McGuinness has kicked. That's Tony up towards half forward. It's punched away. Comes down to Morrissey. He gives it away to Platten. Platten at half back. He struggled for the evening. Brereton striving hard. Suffering from injury. Gives the hand pass away. Back in towards the centre. Lawrence. Hand pass to Anderson. Over the top. Goes to Ayres. Ayres in turn to Whitman. Whitman approaching 50 metres. The pass is a little too high for Dunstall. He nearly gets hold of it. Then applies the tackle on Lee. But look at them combining beautifully. Smart will come away for the Adelaide Crows. Lindsay shares it away. Tregenza at half-back. The high kick goes in towards the centre. Who can make the ground? No one. Platten. It goes through Platten's hands. Now Lawrence, the left foot kick by Lawrence. There's a player wide on the half-forward area, and that's Anderson. He runs in through centre half-forward, kicks it high towards full forward.
Oh, that's shepherding, that's shepherding.
Coming out as Smart. But Don, you've spotted a free kick.
Yeah, that was against Darren Jarman. I mean,
Andrew Jarman in the Adelaide side.
Yes, I'm confused as well. It was a Shepherd, a really heavy Shepherd on Dunstall. The ball was nowhere near those two.
Dunstall, with seconds left in the match, will kick a goal from directly in front. He doesn't miss these, it's all clear.
Well, an easy goal, a gimme, his second. He's had a very, very quiet night. He's been beaten actually by Smart and Bruce Lindsay going off. He doesn't look too good, Lindsay. Negri coming back on, but he's done a wonderful job, this Torrens player.
Yes, another of the veterans in the Crow lineup. Been a very good player for a number of years. And having a well-earned spell from the bench as we call for another ball.
Well, somebody souvenired the ball, and it could be a very valuable ball in years to come. I wonder if someone will have it mounted.
Didn't think there'd be anybody left in the crowd.
It might have been someone just trying to get away out of the car park early. So, the final seconds. I'm sure the Hawks will be pleased to hear the siren, and so will these fans here at Football Park. From the middle, past Pritchard, Marshall tried to tap it wider. It's effective to the running Tregenza. Stabs up towards Smith. And he'll have a shot. There's no one in the square. He's just go over the top, will he? Unselfish play. Lidner has kicked 3 and will more than likely have the last kick in this match. Well, he will.
The Crows have really done everything right tonight. I haven't found a cheat in the side as the siren goes.
Lidner will want to finish it off. He shoots towards goal. Oh, he finishes it off all right. A marvellous victory to the Adelaide Crows. Bruce Lidner finishes the night with 4 goals. And an 86-point win to the Adelaide Crows in their AFL home and away debut. One more standing ovation for these 20 players. They've worked so hard over the summer. Graham Corns and Neil Curley had to find a team and then build a team. And it would appear on this ground that they have built and found a formidable combination. Very early days yet, but you couldn't ask Don for a more heartening start as they get another ovation. There's the final scoreline. Adelaide 24-11. 155. Hawthorn 9-15-69. Final scoreline here at Football Park. Monster winners, the Adelaide Crows in their debut. 24-11, 155 to Hawthorn 9-15-69. Sitting next to me is a man who played 302 games for the Hawks. You're a shattered man.
And I've played in a game like the Hawks have played tonight, and it goes back to the years when we never really won a game, and Hawthorn were really disappointing. I saw them do things which were just uncharacteristic of Hawthorn. But this team here, I didn't find one cheat in their side. Let's hope that they just maintain the attitude that they've got and really go on with this game, because they played football the way it has got to be played. They're not as skillful as what the Hawthorn side, but their commitment is just unbelievable. If they're going hard for the ball, if they don't win it, they really do harass the opponents.
Don, how can a side like Hawthorn, who was so impressive against Essendon, went on to hammer North Melbourne convincingly in a grand final, and play in a big game such as this, suddenly seem to lose so much?
Well, I mentioned last week when that grand final that North Melbourne were able to put pressure on Hawthorn, and they did a few uncharacteristic things. You know, when the pressure was there, Langford and Collins in the first quarter against North, and I mentioned there, if North can keep the pressure on, they will harass this side. Well, the Adelaide side did it from the first bounce, and they continued to do it. And I've never seen Hawthorn kick the way they have to opponents further up, to teammates further up the ground. It was just amazing stuff. And the stats should be dominated, and quickly looking at it, they were dominated by the Crows, and they simply were fantastic.
We won't be looking at a ladder at the moment, but I can tell you the Crows' percentage after tonight's game stands at 224.6. Well, Michael Taylor has had a most distinguished football career, starting with the Nord club in South Australia, and then of course to Collingwood, and he is now the assistant coach to Graham Corns. And Max, I would imagine Mickey Taylor would be fairly pleased with the proceedings tonight.
Certainly is, Sandy. Everyone from South Australia, I think, is pretty pleased, particularly a man that came back late last year to join the Crows. And Michael, tonight's effort, you can only sum it up by a team effort.
Oh, no doubt, Max. I think if you look through the whole game, and footy's played over 4 quarters. Now, Hawthorn played Saturday night. We had a rest. They've had to come over here and play Friday night, which is one less day. Like they only had 6 days to get over it. But overall, it was a team effort from our point of view. We had winners all over the ground. And when you have winners like that, in a night game like that, you're going to win the game very easily.
Well, best players, very hard to pick a Crow that stood out tonight. What did you think?
Oh, certainly. I think if you kick a score what we kicked and keep Hawthorn what they were down to, I think the main point was that we kept pressure on them all the time. And there's no doubt we turned the ball over. When they got the ball, we put pressure on them, and that's what gave us that score.
Well, great way for Adelaide to open the AFL season. Let's go back to last year, August and September, when all the talk of, aside from South Australia going into the competition, looking back now, I think you'd be pretty happy.
Oh, yes, but, footy's a funny game. It's only a week-to-week, proposition. Who knows, we play Carlton next Sunday, so it can turn around. Like, you just don't, for one game, say, oh, we're great. We were good, very good tonight, but we've got to worry about what's happening next week by tomorrow. So when everything started happening, everyone got to put everyone together, and I suppose I got to put the right people in the right spots, and then you have the players together and the administration, and it just goes on and on from there. It's a great team effort tonight.
Okay, mate, as you said, a great team effort, and all the best with Carlton next week.
Thank you very much, Max.
There's still a long season to go, but Carlton coach David Parkin was here at the ground tonight, and I'm quite sure he'll go away with plenty of thinking ahead of him.